and the Ugly Collector's Edition DVD today.
Yes, indeed. And I'm still taking my little intermission before the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly starts. So if you'll excuse me for just a few more minutes. I literally just finished eating. I literally just finished eating. This is my post-food cigarette. That's an important one for the smokers among us. Oh, shit. Oh, crap. Mel Carson is here. Or is that Jackson? Round 3. Ding, ding. Oh, wait a minute. This is not Rocky. Here's Josh. Go on, Jeff. Had to step out but back now. Welcome back. And welcome to the arguably the greatest of them all, right? Again, like I said in the Fistful of Dollar stream, I will not argue anyone's favorite Leone film. You know, if anyone says that The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is their favorite, I will not argue it. If anyone says that Fistful is their favorite, or for a few else more, I won't argue it. If anyone says Once Upon a Time in the West is their favorite, I won't argue it. If anyone says Duck You Sucker is their favorite, I won't argue it. And I especially will not argue if anyone says Once Upon a Time in America is their favorite Leone film. I will argue if anyone says that Colossus of Rhodes is their favorite, though. But, you know, I think anyone would. Anyway. We also have Mike Barrett back for more. Yes, indeed. Welcome back, Mike. And speaking of Mike, here's another Mike. Mike's DVD and I think it's a more fashionable hour for Mike's DVD and Blu-ray collection. So yeah, welcome back, Mike. The other Mike, that is. Josh showing up for the last one. He was here for the first one as well. So yeah, best of the trilogy. Yeah, that's my opinion. So. No. It's not. Hey, Mac Chaz is here for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Now I have the disc PS5, but I still have to hit play on the disc, as you guys can see. So as we are finishing our cigarette and we're going to get back in the movie room, we do have to boot the disc up. This is definitely the definition of epic. That definitely applies to The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You know, it's different. Well, I will not be here for the entire stream. I'm just here for the cigarette. I will go to the movie room for the actual movie. So was here for the first 2 years, but I had to step out for a bit. And yeah, Sean missed a Fistful. We're almost done with the cigarette, guys. I'm also going to put on the poncho at the end of this stream because, well, that's when Clint picks it up. So, yes, we are watching the extended, the most extended cut. Now, I'm going to show you on the Arrow disc, there's a little secret Easter egg version on that disc, which is definitely and truly the most complete cut of this film in existence anywhere. That adds back in the extended Desert Bones bit that was deleted from every print, pretty much. There's one line of missing dialogue in that scene, but still they incorporated the scene in there. You have the full extended Tuco torture scene in that extended cut. And there was another extended bit with Angel Eyes at the beginning when he arrives at the farm. So that is truly the most extended cut known to human existence, known to mankind. But yes, it will be the extended one. Yeah, it might not match up with everyone's copy, but you know, it's only. I think the extended version that we had on DVD and Blu-ray, that was 2 hours and 58, 59, just shy of 3 hours. And the version that we are going to be watching is a full 3 hours and 1 minute. So that is truly the most extended cut that is out there. So let's head into the movie room. As you can see, yes, we have the extended cut there in the PS5. So, let's get into our seated positions. Important thing, attach the charger, otherwise I will not be here for the entire stream. We would not want that. So let's bring the TV in. We can bring it on full screen for the menu. So I'm going to show you guys. Okay, so we're going to hit play on the disk. It's going to boot up the disk anyway. Oh, yeah, well, the hat is off, so thank you, Josh. Appreciate it. Back to back to back. I can definitely see the case that this is a prequel. I can definitely see the case for that. I've had all 3 Jeff streams on my TV, but not been able to post the whole time. There you go. I had some joy. No worries. It's a Sunday afternoon. We get it. There's other things to do than watch the Dallas trilogy. Still waiting for my Arrow release to come. Effing Amazon. Yes, that's why I pre-ordered directly from Arrow themselves. I'm not taking any chances. So I pre-ordered as soon as they were announced too. So, yeah, you're probably not gonna have the bone sequence and well, anyway, I'm gonna show you guys because now we're on the menu. I don't know if it's coming up. See, you go to special features. Hang on, let me do that properly. Wait, let's do that in a different way. Let's put this on solo layout, and then we're gonna switch the camera to the backs. There we go. Now you can see it. Okay, so we're gonna hit special features. Then you have play film with uncut torture scene. And then you can choose without grotto scene or with grotto scene. And if you hit the right arrow on your remote, or in my case, the PS5 controller, you have and more. And if you hit that, then you get this 3-hour, 1-minute version. So this is an Easter egg, and that's what it says right there. I'm going to pause it there. The following 181, well, you guys can read it. It reinstates the deleted Angel Eyes Arrive scene and Bones in Desert footage, in addition to the grotto and uncut two-core torture scenes. It is the closest English language approximation so far to the longest known Italian language version that had its world premiere in Rome on December 20. Oh, we covered the release date as well. There you go. December 23rd, 1966, before being cut further for its wider release. Some defects remain where deleted material is either incomplete or taken from used 35mm exhibition prints. So that's the version we're watching. And as you guys can see, it's 3 hours, 1 minute, and 57 seconds. So as soon as the MGM logo starts, of course, we're going to make the screen much smaller. Shit, I got to switch that camera perspective. There we go. And there we go. And yeah, we have the MGM, so we're off. We're off to the races on the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Hang on, I do have to actually put the captions on manually. Yeah, full English subtitles. There we go. So we have boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Oh shit, that's actually quite loud. So once again, produced by Alberto Grimaldi. No, there's not a 90. You could probably do a fan cut, Gareth. Yes. Arrow pretty good with dispatching stuff. Didn't want to take risk with them. Yeah, Ninja Turtles releases. Yeah. I had to wait weeks for my fist. Yes, I do remember that. I do remember that, Sean. Luckily, you got him, though. Luckily, you got him. Yeah, leave it to Arrow. I'm gonna get to that in a second, Stacy. But welcome back. Gareth, are you excited for James? Yeah, he should be. It's actually quite loud, isn't it? I think you guys are hearing the music. Let's turn that down. I mean, I love the music as much as anybody. Again, we're going to show the soundtrack for it in a second, but wait weeks for Fistful of a few dollars more. To wait a week for the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I got them pretty much a week before they were actually legitimately released, so I'm quite happy. The Arrow dispatched them very early for me. Yeah, there's one line of Italian in this one. There's literally one line that isn't dubbed in English, and there's one line where there's no dialogue at all. There's no, well, nothing was ever dubbed, I guess, or they couldn't find anything in the files. And Arrow went through everything in the archives with a fine-tooth comb, let me tell you. The amount of stuff they found for this. Hang on, I'm going to get to... Wait, let's do that first one first, the Angelina Stowe. Who's Angelina Stowe, actually? I know Madeline Stowe. Who's Angelina Stowe? Angelina Stowe. I'm not finding any Angelina Stowe on Google. Or should I be Madeline's though? Hang on. It looks like a great set though, but I've never been a big Ninja Turtles guy myself, so I'm probably passing on it. Again, fantastic opening titles here, just like Fistful of Dollars, very colorful, very 007-esque, right? Very rotoscoped image and stuff. And here we have a fantastic first shot of the film. Al Mulloch, Canadian character actor, popping up in the screen. The 4K doesn't do him much favors with his with his very We do have a bio on Al Mulloch, but first and foremost, some other trivia bits about The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. $1.2 million budget, so this was a very high budget compared to the $200,000 of Fistful of Dollars, and even compared to the $600,000 or for a few dollars more. This was a United Artists co-production, so they struck up a deal with United Artists for good distribution and stuff. So they spent a pretty penny on this. So this is definitely a high budget and very epic feeling Western for sure. I mean, this is the most epic for a reason of all of them, you know. That's because it had a huge budget, especially for those days, and especially for Sergio Leone. So yeah, Al Mulloch, Canadian-born character actor. He also appeared famously in the opening of Once Upon a Time in the West, as well as Day of Anger and the Hellbenders, and two other great Euro westerns, spaghetti westerns. Again, this goes dark. He tragically committed suicide while filming Once Upon a Time in the West. There's a famous story where Leone wasn't done with the opening scene yet, but Al Mulloch, he jumped out of his hotel window, still wearing the costume that he was wearing for the scene. And all Leone gave a damn about was the costume. So poor Al Mulloch just jumped himself to death, and Sergio Leone was like, "Get the costume, get the costume." So not really, not really so tactful there, Sergio. But yeah, so that's why Al Mulloch, doesn't appear in much more footage in Once Upon a Time in the West because they only had limited amount of footage from him, so he didn't complete the scenes. There's a name for people who can't watch the Dollars Trilogy in one sitting. They're called cowards. Hey, I mean, you know, oh shit, almost knocking my fucking tripod over. I mean, yeah. People that have been now with me for all three of these are definitely legends, I know that. Man, the 4K looks amazing though. It's gotta be said. Ninja Turtles 3 is awful. That at the time it was, yeah, because they did reinstate some footage and they got Clint Eastwood and Eli Wallach to dub some material back. But now it's even more extended, so yeah, that's why Arrow is now, in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinion, the most definitive home media version of this film, and of the other two as well, to be honest. Anyway, here we have Eli Wallach's introduction as the Ugly. He's not that ugly. Come on, let's not, he's not that ugly. Do have a bio on Eli Wallach. We're going to get there when he gets another scene. First, we have Lee Van Cleef's reappearance. And again, this bit is extended compared to the other extended version. Again, a great soundtrack here. The Sundown, Il Tramonto by Ennio Morricone. And for this one, I definitely have the most deluxe soundtrack release. It's the 3-disc. Hang on, gotta show off. It's the 3-disc expanded original MGM motion picture of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. So that's 3 discs that has the entire film score on it, bonus tracks, deleted tracks, and then the original 66 album version. Oh shit, you can see the close-up of the TV there very well. But no, that's the full soundtrack on 3 discs with a cool booklet as well. That's put out by Quartet Records, actually, in Spain. So this goes for a good amount of money, but it's definitely worth every penny of it. So if you can get your hands on it, I'll say go for it. It's one of the best Morricone soundtrack, the most iconic. I mean, let's be honest. Even people that haven't seen this film, they know the theme, don't they? And they maybe know the Ecstasy of Gold, but they definitely know the. Everybody knows that, Anyway, while we're still waiting for Eli Wallach to get an appearance, because he's the next actor I got a bio on. Love long films, so do I. I'm sure Peter Jackson will release a 5-hour King Kong one day, and I will watch it. Yes, if they ever find all the footage for Once Upon a Time in America, which will make it 6 hours, I will watch that in a heartbeat too. Oh, that was going to be Angelina Jolie. Okay, there you go. So that was Angelina Jolie for... Hang on. Gotta scroll back for that. Why can't I find it? Medusa for a horror film. I mean, sure. Yeah, why not? Looks like Sean. Was that Al Mulak? Yeah, Arrow now has the most complete cut. That is true. I was excited for the Bond film. Ooh, we're gonna get into that then. That's tomorrow. You Only Live Twice, but I'm sure he's already answered it. Yeah. But yeah, that's You Only Live Twice. Yeah, it looks like I'm gonna have to get a 4K player. Well, Arrow has also done that on the standard release, or not the standard, but the Blu-ray release. Arrow has done a 4K and a Blu-ray. So you don't necessarily have to upgrade to the 4K, because the Blu-ray Collector's Edition comes with everything that the 4K Collector's Edition comes with. So you don't necessarily have to go to the 4K, but Love and Ben-Hur on UK TV. Oh, yeah, that's a long film as well. Bank Holiday TV with adverts and on for like 6 hours. Yeah, that's another epic film. That's usually around the Easter bank holiday, isn't it? Along with what's the film? Got it on Charlton Heston. Come on. Jesus Christ, I can't think of that fucking iconic film. Somebody will tell me. Yeah, that's definitely the best way of going. At least for your entry, for an entry level 4K, you know. Yeah, because yeah, exactly. Because native 4K players are very expensive. I think a PS5 is definitely a more affordable entry level 4K player. No, that was just purely by accident. Anyway, we don't have Eli Wallach, but we do have character actor Antonio Casas here as Stevens, who is the guy that's rudely interrupted during his dinner by Lee Van Cleef. I do have a bio on Antonio Casas, because he's been in a few spaghetti westerns. And again, I took a screenshot from the page in the book, so I don't have to flip through the entire book. So for Antonio Casas, this guy sitting right here eating his soup. Antonio Casas Barros is his full name. He was born in 1911 and he passed away in 1982. And the bio on him goes: seasoned character actor, usually seen in sympathetic roles. Yeah, I would say so. He used to play professional soccer for a time and worked in diverse occupations before settling on acting, initially on the stage. He was excellent as the dauntless Major in A Pistol for Ringo and the tragic sheriff in the sequel, The Return of Ringo. So yeah, those are two other big Euro westerns he's known for as well. And other than that, his credits include Juanito in 1960, Minnesota Clay, one of my favorites, in 1964 by Sergio Corbucci, Ride and Kill, also 64, Pistol for Ringo and The Return of Ringo, and then Son of a Gunfighter. He appeared in $4 of Revenge in 66, as well as obviously this film here, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Then he appeared in The Texican. Then in 1967, he appeared in The Big Gun Down and Face to Face and 15 Scaffolds for a Killer. That's a cool title, by the way. 1969, he appeared in Alive or Preferably Dead, The Price of Power, $20,000 Stain in Blood. 1970, he appeared in Clumsy Hands. 1972, he appeared in Pancho Villa. And 1973, he appeared in his last Euro Western, Free Superman of the West. So that's Antonio Casas. Oh shit, I didn't read this one, sorry. Just a coloring job. Yeah, this close-up of Van Cleef, shit, I'm still on solo layout, I'm noticing, but this close-up of Van Cleef, oh, it's gone. But just the amount of detail, and it's not picking up there, which is probably for the better, but the amount of detail on his face and the 4K is, it's excellent. Yeah, that's more that's where the ugly actually applies to. It's not actually ugly in terms of looks. But yeah, still, Eli is not that ugly. There is some humanity to Tuco, as we will learn in this 3-hour epic journey. First Eli film is, The Magnificent Seven, which is pretty much like a trial run for Tuco, because he's, again, in that one, he's also a Mexican bandit as Calvera, which, that's a great film. And Eli Wallach, a legend. Again, we will do a bio on him once his next scene comes up. But Eli is a legend. He's done a few other spaghetti westerns. We will definitely mention him. Jeff, have you ever seen the 2014 comedy western A Million Ways to Die in the West? Yes, I have. Seth MacFarlane. I've seen that one. Yeah, Liam Neeson in it, Charlize Theron. That's a great one. I do like that one. I do like the Family Guy style of humor for some reason. Again, I went into this whole thing in the previous film where I'm not the biggest slapstick fan, but I do love the Family Guy humor. So I do like the Seth MacFarlane style comedy. So I have a soft spot for it. But I've only seen it once, though. I do really have to revisit. I've only seen it once when it came out in 2014. So it's been 10 years since. Yes, very true. Eastwood became a huge star nearly unbeknownst to him when, yeah, that's because, again, the original title for Fistful was The Magnificent Stranger, and it had some other working titles, and they didn't bother to tell Clint Eastwood of the title change to Fistful of Dollars, because that was very late into post-production. Let me actually go to the Arrow Video booklet once again, because this one also has alternate titles and working titles. Now, the working title was I Duo Magnifici Stranori, the Magnificent Beggars or Strangers, or Rogues, or Two Magnificent Rogues. The Italian title, as it is now and has been since the release, is Il Buono, Il Brutto, Il Cattivo. Now, interestingly, the Magnificent Rogues, or Two Magnificent Rogues, is actually the German title as well, which is Zwei glorreiche Halunken, which is Two Magnificent Rogues. So they kept that title for Germany. Now, again, the original release date, December 23rd, 1966, in the Super Cinema in Rome, once again, in Italy, just like the other two. December 29th, 1967 for the USA, and August 22nd, 1968 for the UK. So those are the release dates and some more background stuff on this epic film. As we have Lee Van Cleef shooting poor Antonio Casas, and he's going to shoot the son that's going to come down the stair. This is really such a departure from the last time we saw Lee Van Cleef just, 45 minutes ago, as Colonel Mortimer, who was kind of, even though more of an anti-hero, he was definitely a hero. And here, there's no doubt about it, Lee Van Cleef is the bad of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Is it? Yeah, wait, let me actually, Ten Commandments. Hang on. Yeah, definitely the Ten Commandments. Let me see. What's the other one? There's another one. Hang on. Shit, I hate it when there's something right on the tip of my tongue, but or am I thinking of the Ten Commandments? I might be. Anyway, I might be thinking that one. Let me get back to that in a bit. By the time this went into production, United Artists couldn't depend on Eastwood's name to sell a film, so Eli Wallach was drafted in, but UN put the first two films out. And Eastwood became a major star before yes, because again, because of Fistful of Dollars, because of it being a Yojimbo remake and an unofficial one at that, you know, it kind of messed with the rights and messed with the distribution deals and stuff. So that's why all the films didn't come out in the US until 67 or 68. No, just hang on. I was thinking of the Ten Commandments, but yeah, there's also, of course, yeah, Ben-Hur and the Ten Commandments, those two epic films. Just, again, my mind's been so foggy, but I was thinking of both those films, actually. Wallach, great in The Associate, the comedy of Body Switch, Rags to Riches, Wall Street Comedy, Baby Doll. Yeah, Baby Doll is probably one he's famous for, other than this film and The Magnificent Seven. Baby Doll was a big first kind of exposure for him, which was Carol Baker in Baby Doll, and Carol Baker did a lot of giallo films as well, which I've seen by Umberto Lenzi. And as if we needed any reminder as to who Lee Van Cleef is in this film, we're going to get his title card here coming up, as he just shot Livio. I got the bio for that guy as well, but he's off screen now. But anyway, as if we need any reminder, he's the bad. PS5 works quite well as 4K player. I just find the game controller for movies a bit weird. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm very used to having this on my hand, so I'm very used to the touch, to the controls and stuff. But you can get a more normal remote. That's true. So Jelly, I don't have the 4K. Stupid. Yeah, I'll hope you get it. I would love to see me as double. Shake and not start. Should I do it as Sean Connery? Or maybe a little bit as Roger Moore? Vodka martini, shake and not stir. Even though Roger Moore never ordered the martini in his films, but I definitely prefer the film grain. But I'm also not bitchy like other people when they watch like Aliens or The Abyss, and it's like, hey, the film grain is gone. It's like, no, the film grain is still there, but it's very fine. But these older films, they definitely do need their film grain in there. So, but I'm also not the most fussy person about it. So, if that makes sense. Again, for me, it's just transfers and stuff. It's subjective, and it's what these two see. They really, they judge on, it's what I base my judgment on. Because if a film looks good to me with these two eyes, it looks good to me. If it looks bad to me, it looks bad. So, and I know what looks good and looks bad to me. So it's all subjective. There we go. Now, as we do have Eli back on screen, Eli Wallach, born 1915, sadly passed away, I think, 2016, if I'm not mistaken. Member of the Actors Studio, who transferred his skills from Broadway to the big screen. Wallach created one of the most fully realized of all genre characters within Tuco, the crafty animalistic outlaw with combustible energy in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. His parts in Ace High and Long Live Your Death are vivid variations on his most famous roles, which are two of his other Euro westerns, which, yes, he did. Other than The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, he did Ace High in 1968, Long Live Your Death, aka Don't Turn the Other Cheek, in 1971 with Franco Nero. And then he did The White, the Yellow, and the Black, which was the last Sergio Corbucci spaghetti western, which is more of a comedy. And it's not a great one, by no means, but I do actually quite enjoy it for some reason. So there you go. So then we had Antonio Casas, already covered him. I missed this actor, so sadly we missed the opportunity on that one. There's just so much to talk about and so much, I don't know. Need to keep going in, yeah, definitely. Remember, yeah, that's a perfect example. Even when I watched the Predator one, that looked bad. It looked waxy. It looked bad. Luckily, the 4K is much better of Predator. Always see the job through, yeah. Eli Wallach has some terrific lines, some great ones coming up right here. One bastard goes in and the other comes out. Look, everybody is giving him the filthy money. Me? Who says so? You can't even read. Yeah, roll it up, roll it up. I'll give you a good idea where you can put it. Yeah, one bastard goes in, the other comes out. I'm an honest farmer. This guy is, by the way, the sheriff. He's another character actor in spaghetti westerns. You see him pop up a lot if you watch a lot of these films. If it should Eastwood play McConaughey father or Brad Pitt for Eastwood is probably done with acting at this point. Says he's 95, for goodness sakes. I don't think he's going to step in front of the camera again. Always remember someone saying film is made up of grain. So yeah, it's detail, isn't it? Film grain is detail. Yeah, I don't mind grain. I don't mind grain at all. Hey, Ramon is back once again. Yeah, the Misfits for Eli Wallach as well. Welcome back, Ramon. And welcome back, Larry. My favorite Western. Yes, it's my second favorite Western. But it's by this much, to be honest. And to be honest, we're going to make a confession. I even said this to Carlos as soon as I got done watching the film here on this Arrow Video 4K. I sent a message to Carlos. If he pops up here, he can verify. I said to Carlos, like, I'm strongly considering making this now my favorite Western after having watched this beautiful restoration by Arrow. It really is by this much that it's almost impossible to choose between this and Once Upon a Time in the West for me. But I did say to Carlos, like, I'm strongly leaning towards this one now. So there you guys have it. It's now out in the open for you guys as well. But I said that to Carlos in a private message. It's like I'm strongly considering making this now my favorite Western. So yeah, that's how much this great restoration affected my viewing pleasure and stuff of this film. It's amazing what a great transfer can do. And a most complete version can do, because again, this is like the fucking most complete version of it out there. Eli was in The Misfits, famous movie, last movie for both Marilyn Monroe and Clark Gable. They passed away after. Yes, that is very true. And this is also very true. It was Eli that convinced Henry Fonda to be in Once Upon a Time in the West. Yeah, Sergio Leone offered Fonda the script. Fonda was like, he wants me to play the bad guy, and it's Italian Western, shot in Spain, all that stuff, etc., etc. Hey, my good buddy Eli Wallach has done one. Let's see what he thought of it. Should I do it? And Eli was like, yeah, go. You'll have a great time. It's so much fun working with Sergio. You'll love it. It's going to be fantastic. So yeah, it was Eli Wallach that convinced Clint, really? That convinced Henry Fonda to do it. It's just because I'm seeing Clint on the tally there. I was going to say, I brought all my energy drinks up for this one, because this is the longest film. Those with a rope around the neck and people have the job of doing it. Cut it. So the next time I want more than half. Funny you should mention Alien. Sort out the DVD to watch. I always remember someone graffitiing shit. There you go. A wall with the title. Oh, that's gonna ring 7 times now. It's 7 p.m. Ugh. Always remember tackling aliens. This time it's 4. Really stuck with me. Yeah. There we go. If you miss, you better miss very well. Those who double cross me and leave me alive, they understand nothing about Tuco. Nothing. And here's a little bit that was missing from all previous releases. Look at this. Wait, hang on. Look at this. That transition, that's exclusive to this release. That's how it actually was supposed to be in this scene. That transition, that little fisheye blink thing or whatever it was, that was not on the previous DVD or Blu-ray releases. So Arrow reinstated that, because that's supposed to be there. Again, Arrow went through everything with a fine-tooth comb for this restoration. So, hey Blondie, you know what you are. Yes, we're gonna get there in 3 hours. Despite the length of this film, yes, it does fly by. It's gonna be even more quicker now with all of y'all, all of your comments there. It's gonna fly by even more. But honestly, I've watched this film, like I said, 5 times within the last month. I should be committed for that, but it flies by every time. Actually, I watched it earlier this week on my PlayStation VR headset, which makes it look like you're in the cinema. So I actually did watch this on a huge screen, a virtual screen, but a huge screen nonetheless. I love watching films with that thing on. The only thing is it's kind of uncomfortable after a while, but it is a good way to watch a film as well, and it gives you kind of a cinema experience in a way, a virtual one once again, but you do get to see a film projected on a huge screen thanks to that. So yeah. See you soon, idiots. It's for you. Yeah. And I found out that originally in the film, Clint says it's for us, but obviously in the dubbing they thought it was funnier if he said it's for you. So if you do watch his mouth closely during that bit, he does mouth "it's for us" instead of "it's for you." Even a filthy beggar like that has a protecting angel. A golden-haired angel watches over him. Tuco, Benedicto, Pacifico, Juan Maria Ramirez, there you go. Known as the Rat. And this is one of the times where Eli Wallach almost died for reals. Because the horror, yeah. That was actually Eli hanging from the news there. Let's get the hell out of here. Yeah, Clint is definitely wearing a different outfit in the beginning of this film. He's wearing like a long beige duster coat. Is it beige? I think it's beige. A different color hat and stuff, yeah. Yeah, it's yeah. Yes, and that was one of them. The other times were with the train sequence where he's trying to get rid of Mario Brega, who was handcuffed to him, and the other time was in the cemetery where he almost drank poison because they put it in a bottle that he thought was actually a sweet drink. So yeah. When that rope starts to pull tight, you can feel the devil bite your ass. Yeah, it's getting tougher. There's really not too much future with a sort of little runt like you. Let me adjust the camera. There we go. There's my hat. Let's see. Oh yes, I do have yeah, some more bios coming up for some of the actors. Yeah, acids. Yeah, some poisonous acid, whatever it was. Yeah, exactly. What's your favorite saloon or layout in any Western? That's a good question. Again, I've complimented and praised Carlo Simi for his art decoration and set decoration in these films. I do like the saloon for a few hours more. The good was not that good because he just leaves Port Tuco here in the desert. Way back in town is only 70 miles. If you save your breath, I feel a man like you can manage it. Io no gran puta! Yeah, I mean, I'm not the first to say it, but this pretty much Clint Eastwood becomes a supporting character in his own film here, right? Because Tuco steals the show, let's be honest. Clint Eastwood is still Mr. Cool. Clint Eastwood is still, he's the guy. But this is Eli Wallach's film. I think anyone can see that. I heard the prostitute being thrown out of the wagon, which you guys cannot see. Oh, you guys can. Okay. Because I'm seeing the reflection from the sunlight in the television. This is Rada Rasimov, who is the sister of Ivan Rasimov, who you guys might know from some other Italian genre films, like most notably some giallo films. Now, Rada Rasimov, she appeared with her brother together, Ivan Rasimov once again, in the Euro-Western Shamango. And some of her other Euro-Western credits include Django the Bastard, Taste of Killing, Don't Wait Django Shoot, and Gatling Gun with Robert Woods. Yeah, but yeah, pretty much anything from these films, to be honest, Stacey, because these are just the greatest Westerns in my opinion, along with just all the Sergio Leone ones. Gunsmoke, yeah, classic TV series. Some bit of trivia about this scene. Lee Van Cleef was very apprehensive about actually slapping a woman on screen. He said, well, I don't slap women. So there's only a few shots where it's actually Lee Van Cleef doing it, and the other shots it's his body double. It's a body double for Lee Van Cleef, who's actually doing the proper slapping of the poor woman here, Rada Rasimov. So yeah, Lee Van Cleef stood by his principles and did not want to be on camera slapping this poor woman about. Yeah, probably the shots from the back is probably his body double. Yeah. Yeah, I never owned the Kino version myself, to be honest, but I know the Blu-rays were very yellowy. Yeah, there you go, very yellowy. And they did improve the color grading with the 4Ks on Kino. But the Blu-rays apparently had those very yellowy transfers, which aren't really the greatest, so Arrow fixed all that. To be honest, again, Kino probably did a good job as well with the 4Ks because they fixed the colors for the 4K as best they could. But Arrow actually has a new scan and new new materials to work from and stuff. So there we have poor Eli just surviving the desert, crossing this rope bridge with a cool Morricone theme once again you're playing. Oh god, just look at well, not over there, but the detail there is fantastic. You guys can't see that in that screen, but there it is. Yeah, I love how Eli goes for the water. He just drenches himself in the water. Again, if you have just crossed the desert for 70 miles, I can definitely understand that. But I love how crazy he goes. He just splashes the water all over him. Pretty realistic for a guy who just crossed the desert. I just love how he plays it. Eli Wallach, yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Gave her rights, although also though, yeah, threw in some laughs. Yeah, I think when you actually see Van Cleef slapping, it's you know, the fake movie slaps. And when it's a stand-in for Van Cleef, they're actually connecting slaps. So Van Cleef just didn't want to slap her for real. Even though Rada Rasimov, she went like, come on, slap me, I'm okay with it. But Lee Van Cleef still did not want to actually slap a woman on screen, so yeah. So he does the fake pretend slaps, and then when it's filmed from the back, it's a stunt, it's a body double doing the actual slapping. I think Sean Connery would know a thing or two about slapping. We all know the story. I'm not going to go into it, but you wouldn't think most men would care, especially Sean. I still went into it, damn it. When Van Cleef and Eastwood came back to the dubbing of the extended release, yeah, no, that was Wallach and Eastwood because Van Cleef passed away. But that does sound a little off. I'm used to it by now, but yeah, it definitely is noticeable that their voices are older. Again, I guess the only way they can fix that is if they use AI to do their voices like they were in the 60s. But yeah, then you would have the old AI thing again. I'm actually gonna lower the blinds here because it's getting very sunny in here, right? So it's appropriate for the film. You know, poor Tuco going through the desert, but I don't need to feel the heat. Hold on. Oh shit! There we go. Yeah, that's better. That's better. I'm just gonna. Oh, you. I wish I had time to quickly go to the KFC, but that's 15 minutes drive, 15 minutes back. I would not have made it back in time for this one if I went to the KFC, my local KFC for the intermission. I wouldn't have made it back in time. I was thinking, like, what am I going to do? Am I going to quickly grab some here? But yeah, I would have loved to have had some chicken wings. I do have some ice cream for my intermission, so yeah. Or when we returned from the intermission, but you know, halfway through this film. Yeah, no, that definitely was a Van Cleef. Van Cleef sadly passed away in '89. Eli Wallach, yes, in The Godfather Part 3, he was also, let's not forget, Eli Wallach was also in The Godfather Part 3 with Al Pacino as a gangster, as a mob boss. And here's a great scene where Wallach, well, we missed the old bit where he assembles this gun, which is complete nonsense. You cannot take a cylinder from a Colt and put it on a Smith & Wesson or whatever. But it works for the film. This was all improvised by Eli as well. Sergio said, just have fun with it. Just do whatever. And then this little bit here where he shoots all the targets. And then the gunshot guy thinks he missed one. But then he's like, look at this, amigo. Boom. And then, yeah, he got all targets. And he picks up this hat. Apparently, this is a hat that he brought with him from the US. So he brought this hat to the set, and Sergio liked it, and he said, "Yeah, you can keep it." So this is Eli's own hat that he brought with him. And again, the source for that is Christopher Frading, who I'll be quoting a lot for this one, because I just watched the film the other day with his audio material on. It takes some research to do these films back to back, so yeah. How much? No. I love how Eli just played it there. No, shit. You're governor in the Old West. Would you pick as your person to run it? If he doesn't have to be good with a weapon, he's a Western character or she. So a person to keep the law in town, or like a sheriff or like a marshal, I guess is the question. I would have Lee Van Cleef as my peacekeeper. And closed. A nice little visual gag there. And now we have one of the deleted scenes from the original print. This is the infamous grotto scene. This scene was in the film when it premiered in Rome, but Sergio Leone took it out after the premiere, so this was only ever shown at the original premiere screening of the film. Of course, 35 years later, whatever it was, for the extended DVD release on MGM, that's when they put the scene back in, and this is one of the scenes where they had Eli Wallach come back to dub his own voice. It's changed somewhat in this version, to be fair, from the previous editions. There's a slight different takes, maybe. I think Arrow found the original takes of the recording of the dubbing for this scene. I think Arrow might have found those, because some lines of dialogue, again, this is just because I watched this film like 500 times, certain bits of dialogue sound like alternate takes, sound like different takes from Eli Wallach, and some lines are completely different, I've noticed, in this Arrow version, in the grotto scene. So that's just something that I've noticed, but yeah. This is, in any case, this is one of those scenes where it's not the original 66 recording, because this was never recorded in the English version for 66, or 67, I should say. Potatoes. You gotta be poor to eat potatoes. For some reason, it doesn't sound like... Yeah, I mean, it does sound like him. I can definitely hear Eli's voice, but it just sounds more gravelly, more aged, right? So... Those who are lonely like Portuco. But yeah, when I first watched this on the... where is it? Got so many things around me. Oh. Okay, well, I don't see the DVD for it, but again, the old MGM Blu-ray, this scene was pretty much different on this bit, so yeah. Oh, there's my DVDs, there you go. And again, this was also, that 2003 version was also on this very Blu-ray right there, or DVD, of The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. This was the 171-minute version, as you can see right there. So that is also the extended MGM cut. So I've only been used to the extended one. Thanks to Arrow, this was the first time I was able to see the theatrical version, as it was, released back in '67 for US audiences. So I finally got to see that version as well. After seeing pretty much all versions now, I prefer the extended still, because I want to see every single frame that Leone ever did, because I'm just a huge Leone nerd, Leone fanboy. So I want to see every single frame that the guy's ever done. But I can see the case why people don't like the longer films, and they might prefer the more shorter version and stuff. So and again, even the theatrical version that I did see for this film, again, that's on the Arrow Blu-ray 4K, well, 4K and Blu-ray. It's not a bad version of the film. It's not a bad cut of the film. Again, it flows at a good pace and stuff. And I don't know, no matter which version you watch it is, you're gonna have a great time. So it's a great film in pretty much all versions of it, in my opinion. But again, I'm just one of those guys. I like the movies that I love to be as long as possible. So yeah, the most complete as possible. And thanks to Arrow now for another different way of watching it. So yeah. Meryl Streep as a Western villain. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. Looking for the owner of that horse. He's tall, blonde, he smokes a cigar, and he's at peak. Yeah, imagine. Yeah, you would have to wait until 2003 for it to be back, for that scene to be back. So that's what, 40 years? Almost. No worries, Russell. Yeah, have a good one. I thought you were going for sleep after the festival one, but you, like a trooper, you stayed with us. So appreciate it, my man. And we'll see you very soon. Ah, yes. I mentioned this film a few times in a few streams because a lot of the people that worked on these was involved with that film. Recently, we watched Genius: Two Partners and a Dupe, directed by Damiano Damiani, but some of it was directed allegedly by Sergio Leone. It's a pretty great film. Well, it's a comedy, so it's not one that I personally love. It's kind of in the same vein as the trendy films and My Name Is Nobody and stuff. Of all those comedies, I do prefer My Name Is Nobody as the best. But that one does have Klaus Kinski and stuff, and the Genius: Two Partners and a Dupe, and Mario Brega. So, like I said, a lot of people that were involved with these films, it crosses over that one as well. It does have Ennio Morricone score, which is always good. But they kind of marketed that, by the way, as the sequel to My Name Is Nobody in Germany, because you can get a 2-pack, a double feature pack of My Name Is Nobody and Nobody Is the Greatest, which is actually a Genius: Two Partners and a Dupe. But it's not a sequel to My Name Is Nobody, but it does have that same tone of comedy, slapstick comedy. Here's a big, Eastwood hurt the Spurs. Of course, that's going to be, he shoots the guys that come in, your Spurs. And then we're going to have Eli Wallach with a great comeback to that. Yeah, there's certain films you prefer watching at certain times. I always feel like I should watch Plan 9 from Outer Space at like 3 a.m. I don't really have a film that I would say is perfect at a certain time. I do have certain films I like watching at a certain time of the year, if that makes sense. Like obviously, obviously there's the Christmas movies. That's the most obvious one. But films like these, like westerns, I usually do end up watching a lot of westerns in the summer because it actually is hot. It actually helps with the kind of immersion of it. Having said that, I could watch westerns all year, but especially in the summer, it kind of adds to it a little bit, if that makes sense. Any films that are set in the snow, I usually watch those in the winter time as well to add to the immersion of it. So I do have a few like those, but yeah, not really at a certain specific time of day or something. Yeah, I'm not that not that specific with the films. Here we go. There are two kinds of Spurs, my friend. Those are coming by the door. Those are coming by the window. I like how he always crosses himself whenever. Yeah. They got a pistol belt. Pull my current's little candle will do. Ah, cool. I'll actually have to make sure there's some light after, because I think the sun is setting in a bit. Remember when I first watched this late at night on school week? I couldn't keep my eyes off it. I was so tired. I tried to keep my eyes open using matchsticks. You should do the Dario Argento opera thing with little pins under your eyes. Or just go for the full Clockwork Orange thing where you, yeah. Ever see this before, my friend? It's a rope, Tuco. Put my current's a little candle for the heck of it. There you go. I've had my energy drink. Now let's actually pour a whiskey. So I actually got this single malt Scotch whiskey. I never heard of this brand. I got this for as a gift a while back for my birthday. It was actually fancy whiskey. It has like a cork and everything. See, it's a cork. It's not bad. So I'm gonna be having a little bit of this. There we go. Never turn down free booze anyway, so. It's too big for your neck, huh? We'll fix that right away. I have another system, a little different than yours. I don't shoot the rope. I shoot the legs of the stool. Mix that with a little bit of Coke. There we go. Yeah, exactly. It's fancy with the cork, yeah. And here, Clint is saved by a perfectly timed cannonball. There's a lot of coincidences and very convenient stuff in this film, but hey, you know what? If you're gonna nitpick, you know. But it is very, very convenient. And of course, a great Morricone music punctuation. And here's another scene that was actually cut from the original version. There's another one that was reinstated into the film in 2003 for the MGM remaster. And this is not Lee Van Cleef who is going to dub his voice again, because again he passed away by this point, sadly. Instead, it's a sound-alike by the name of Prescott, something Prescott. Simon Prescott, is that it? I think so. Let me check it somewhere. I think that's in the booklet for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. Hang on. But that's another thing, that arrow. No, that's not the booklet, that's the MRA. I think it is Simon something. Hang on. Simon Says. Because yeah, Arrow Video also included who did the dubbing for this as well, and so on, when and how it was dubbed. Oh yeah, dubbing for 2003 extended version. It is Simon Prescott who does the voice of Angel Eyes. So yeah, sound alike for Lee Van Cleef. This is a good scene actually. Again, in the theatrical one, this scene was cut, so that makes a long passage of time without Lee Van Cleef. At least this one reminds you that Van Cleef is in this film, because Van Cleef is very much a supporting character in this one, even though he's one of the three. There's a long passage of the film where he's not in it, and this extended cut at least gives you another scene with him. So that's good. Some more LVC. It's not a bad scene. Let's see. Iago. I'm not going to be able to pronounce that. Or Lagavulin. Yeah. My most favorite whiskey in the world would almost make me fall off the wagon. Yeah, so this is pretty much showing the horrors of war, because yeah, there's a lot of, of course, this is set during the Civil War, of course, the South versus the North and all that stuff, and there's a lot of emphasis on the Civil War. I mean, it's more of a backdrop throughout a lot of the film, but there's also a lot of scenes in the film where the Civil War takes, front and center focus and stuff, and this is one of the scenes where Van Cleef witnesses the casualties of war and all that stuff. He sees the people that are wounded and all. And even Van Cleef was like, this is not good business, but, it kind of humanizes Angel Eyes a little bit, this scene. That little moment that he had there. Yes, that's a good point. I was going to mention him because, yeah, in this deleted scene, again, no longer deleted. It's Victor Israel. Yeah, he played the zombie priest in the infamous video Nasty. Zombie. Excuse me. Get some. There we go. Zombie Creeping Flesh, aka Hell of the Living Dead. He's also been in tons of other spaghetti westerns, and I think he's also in Eurocrimes and Giallos and stuff. So this is another one of those faces that you'll recognize from Italian genre films. For sure. I've seen him in tons of stuff. Carson has a patch on one eye. He's with the third. For Glorietta. Yeah, this is pretty much just Angel Eyes getting some more information about Bill Carson. He's getting information about Barrowville, the prison camp. Ooh, we are going to see that camp later on. All I knew was not for anything about Barrowville. Keep it, it's yours. Now, it's a good sound alike for Lee Van Cleef. I wouldn't say it's dead on with Lee Van Cleef, but it's close enough. If you didn't know that Van Cleef passed away at this point, and just like with Clint and Eli, they would have said it's just him 35 years later, it would be believable. It sounds like an aged Lee Van Cleef. And here's that mountain again. Oh, you guys can't see it at all. Look at that. It's fully, the sun is fully in the screen there for that. Yeah. All right, now the screen is back. Yeah, there's a lot of reflection on the screen now. Not from where I'm sitting at the correct angle. But for the camera it is. I do like this scene of Eli Wallach just going from campfire to campfire, looking for traces of Blondie, finding the remains of cigars, and he's trying to see if it was still lit, if he's still around. Great music score once again by Morricone playing in the scene. Great variation of the main theme. That is one heck of an alternate title, Hell of the Living Dead, yeah. It's pretty amazing. That cigar isn't lit anymore, yeah. That's not it. Blondie wasn't around, or Blondie's no longer around. But now he's going to find a cigar that he takes a puff from, and there's actually, smoke. Oh, Blondie is close. And again, during the desert scene, we're going to get some more extended footage new to this release. So I'm going to point that out when we get there, of course. And damn it, it's been an hour and I'm already fucking in the mood for a cigarette again. I guess our intermission will be in about 30 minutes, because that's about halfway through. Yeah, that cigar is definitely still lit. It's not coming up on the screen, but I do like that shot of the rifle. The long shot with Clint. Again, when it comes to cinematography and like shot compositions and stuff, it's like, yeah. The guy on the horse here, Shorty, is by the way another cameo from Jose Theron. Yeah, that's it. Jose Theron, who again was the bounty target that Lee Van Cleef was after in the opening scene of For a Few Dollars More. I went through his bio when we had that scene in the previous film, but here he is again in a pretty much unrecognizable bit because you never really see his face, but it is Jose Theron. And Shorty. Yeah, Shorty, Thomas Larson. And there goes Shorty. You saw his face a little bit there when they hung him for a split second, but sorry, Shorty. What's that? Shame you just can't smile? What's that? Oh, here comes the big smoke. Here you go. Yeah. Hell yeah, it's a self-imposed rule. I don't want to smoke around all these posters and action figures, so that's it's self-discipline, I guess. More than anything else. I mean, it's not like anybody tells me that I can't smoke here. It's myself telling myself that I can't smoke here, if that makes sense. Oh, yes. Anyway, hang on. Oh. I have another cowboy hat. Hang on. Let me put on one that's more appropriate. Because Eli just shot Clint's hat off, so I'm just gonna wear Eli's hat. There we go. I'm Tuco. There we go. 100 miles of beautiful sun-baked sand. Just remember that I had a different hat. Except you and me. 100 miles, that's a nice walk. What was it you told me the last time? If you save your breath, I feel a man like you can manage it. And again, here's where we're going to see some extended footage. There's too much glare and reflection in the TV. Hang on. So for those watching along who don't have their copy themselves, you guys can't see shit. Or for those watching, you know, for reference, of course. Is that better? Not much, is it? Yeah. I'm actually starting to feel the heat here as well. I'm kind of feeling Blondie's pain walking through the desert here. At least I have something to drink. And yeah, we did mention Lawrence of Arabia in the last stream, and some of the scenes here walking through the desert is very Lawrence of Arabia-esque, you know, with the, again, with the, just like Mac Chats here is matching with the cinematography and the wide shots. And even Ennio Morricone's score is kind of hints at Lawrence of Arabia during this scene a little bit, I gotta be honest. A little bit, anyway. But no, Mac Chats is saying about the cinematography, which is spot on, yeah. So love the cinematography in this film. 35mm Eastman, to me, nothing looks better than that. That's the sweet spot, yeah. It's fantastic. That great, you know, Eastman color, Technoscope. Yeah, 35mm. Looks so epic. And when we get the extended bit here that, again, was previously unreleased anywhere, I will give that a little bit of a close-up if the camera doesn't, if the reflection... We're out. I do like how Eli Wallach or Tuco just puts out the the pink umbrella, whatever it is. I don't know where that came from, the pink umbrella. It's so, I don't know. It's so out there, but it works for Tuco. This is, again, very... I guess this is maybe the equivalent of the... of a torture scene. Again, we had torture scenes or beat-up scenes in the previous two. This is kind of Blondie being put through the ringer. Of course, poor Eli is going to be put through the ringer later on. And again, another big beat-down sequence. Yeah, this is the same treatment, but then for Eastwood. Except Eastwood is just suffering in the desert. Yeah, this is actually the bit that's extended here for me. So for those watching the other theatrical one, you guys will not see this footage that I have right now. Let's see, there it is. With the bones right here. And Eastwood wants to pick up one of the bones and use it as kind of a weapon. So this is one of the bits that's exclusively added by Arrow. And yeah, Wallach shoots it out of us, and then we have one missing line of dialogue. He's probably saying something like, "Blondie, don't try it." That's a guess, but that's the only line of dialogue that's missing. Other than that, we have sound once again, and we did have the gunshot sound effect. So Arrow did as much as they could on that bit. So that's an extended bit. Just for those that have never seen it, there you go. You're welcome. So that's one of the bits that this extended version adds into it. So that's the bones sequence. The bones. And now we do have the other extended sequence coming up that wasn't in the original version. That's redubbed by Wallach. Not by Eastwood, because Eastwood doesn't have dialogue in the scene coming up, but Wallach did the redubbing for it in 2003 for this scene coming up. So this is the scene that most of you will have in your extended versions, with the boot that comes up, and then Blondie grabs the boot, and then Eli Wallach is not there. He's actually bathing his feet in the water. So that's the bit where we're at now. If you guys can't see it on that little screen, I think you guys can make out a little bit there. Yeah, so he goes for the boot, but yeah. Yeah, this is definitely the one where I was like, that sounds like Eli Wallach, but much, much older, you know. You want some water? Yeah. This hat is a little smaller. Daddy's, I'll eat. Meantime, you can enjoy your sun bath. What way do I put this one on? Is it this way? There we go. Is that, yeah, I think that's it. You want some water? Yeah, I'm apologizing for the reflection. It's really bad to have a reference from where we are in the film, but it's good for copyright. Not being picked up all too well. Come on, come on. So yeah, again, now that we do have a good scene here with Eastwood and Eli, again, Clint Eastwood's salary increased from $15,000, $14,000, 14 or 15 from Fistful. It obviously went up to, what was it, 250? No, what was it for? What was it for a few dollars more? I had the notes for it. I think it increased to 250 for this one, plus the percentage of the gross. And I think also as part of his deal for signing for this film, Clint Eastwood, I think, got a new Lamborghini or something of a sports car. So Eastwood had a good deal on this film. Sadly, this, of course, is the last time he would collaborate with Sergio Leone. Now, after this film, there would be a few years where Eastwood and Leone were kind of bad-mouthing each other in public. They had some kind of a quarrel for some reason. Now Eastwood has said that Leone, Eastwood was more than happy for making, films for Leone if they were like smaller films. He didn't really want to go grander and more epic, but Leone with each film, of course, went bigger and bigger and bigger. And Eastwood even said like Leone has a little bit of a David Lean complex where he just wants to go bigger and bigger with each film, which is very true. If you look at all the films, coming up after, for Once Upon a Time in the West, Docu-Sucker, Once Upon a Time in America, those are big epics once again, just like this one. Started with this one, really. But the Leone just wanted to go bigger and better and just always wanted to outdo himself with every film. Sometimes he succeeded, and and again, that's all subjective, of course. But no, that's one of the things where Eastwood and Sergio Leone didn't see eye to eye on the big scope of the films. Like Eastwood wanted to be more smaller, more intimate films, and Leone just had to have these complex, big, long or epic films. So that's where their differences definitely, where they had a difference of opinion. That's what I was looking for. But hey, they did make up in the later years before Sergio Leone's death. They made up and they had a nice reunion and stuff from what I've heard. So no ill feelings anymore, I guess, from Eastwood's side. And Eastwood actually thanked Leone and the whole nation of Italy for giving him a star, because I think when he was being honored at the Venice Film Festival or whatever it was, Clint Eastwood apparently turned to the audience and said, I owe it all to you. So it's true that Eastwood does recognize that these films did a lot for his career. And it can even be argued that if Eastwood never went to Spain and did these films, he might have kind of vanished into obscurity, because he was just the cowboy from Rawhide. I mean, he could have been like one of these TV actors that tried to make movies but never really made it. So, but Leone gave him the opportunity, and these are the films that made Clint Eastwood, really. Like if you think about it, without this, he would not have gone back to the States, finished Rawhide. He would not have done Hang 'em High, because he would not have been a star. He would not have done Where Eagles Dare and all that stuff. There would be no Dirty Harry, probably. So these films are very, very important for Clint Eastwood. Now, Dave is saying it's magical to me that something as small as 35mm can capture this much detail. Yeah, it's amazing. Again, with the Eli Wallach crossing himself, it's like a very weird way how he does it. It's anyway, as we do have Bill Carson now finally here at 1 hour and 17 minutes into the film, or at least of the stream, that is, anyway. How long has the film been going at this point? 1 hour and 10 minutes. Okay, there you go. We do finally have Bill Carson, who was played by Antonio Casale. He appeared in many Italian genre films, just like Eurocrimes and Gialli. And some of his other Euro Western credits include Sucker, The Grand Duel, Manage, A Man Called Blade, They Call Him Holy Ghost, and Vengeance for Vengeance. So he's done a few other Euro Westerns as well. And I mostly know him from Eurocrimes. He pops up in a lot, and I mean a lot, of Eurocrime films. And every time he does, I'm like, hey, it's Bill Carson. He does have a face that's recognizable, even with the eye patch. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to Antonio Casale, who plays Bill Carson here. Yeah. And yes, that's very true. They made up, obviously, like I said later, Eastwood and Leone, and he did dedicate Unforgiven to Sergio Leone and Don Siegel. That is very true. Yeah. Yeah, Eastwood praises the roots. Yeah, Eastwood. Yeah, absolutely. He recognized that the Italians really gave him his boost that he needed. Here's Bill Carson. Water. $250,000 of gold if you just give me some water. Let's have a refill myself. And again, Eli Wallach, man, just getting the best lines in this film. Like when Carson says, my name is Carson, but I used to be, this and that, and my name's Carson now. Yeah, Carson. Nice to meet you. I'm Lincoln's grandfather. What was it you said about the dollars? Again, Eli, man. That's another thing, again. I think Tarantino said that. And again, it's another thing that I agree with. Eli Wallach in this film is one of the best comedic performances in cinema history. Like, this is he has genuine funny moments. He has genuine fantastic funny lines. It's one of the greatest comedic performances of all time, in my opinion, as well as Tarantino's opinion. Quentin Tarantino, that is. We have the mention of Sad Hill Cemetery. Have a name, a number, talk you to me. I love how Leone just builds the tension there. He's almost saying the name, or he's almost saying, well, what we all know he was going to say, what he says to Clint. He can't get it out, he just says water. But he was going like, Obviously, we all know where that is going. It must have a name or a number on it. And then Eli's like, okay, fine, I'll get you some bloody water. Don't die until later. That's not great. Don't die until later. I just genuinely love everything about Eli Wallach in this film, man. It's don't die until later. And again, another fantastic moment when he gets the water, he sees a blondie is there, and he throws the water canteen. I'm actually starting to sweat in this hat. I'm actually starting to sweat. Damn. Get away from there. A lot of these bright scenes don't really get picked up, but this is where we're at for those watching along. If you do that, you'll always be poor, just like the greasy rat that you are. Name on the grave, yeah. So this is actually the moment where all the plot is pretty much laid out for us. I mean, this is really what this film is going to be about. It's, Blondie knows the name of the grave, Tuco knows the name of the cemetery. And it takes us 1 hour and 15 minutes to get here to really have the setup for the film. I mean, I get why people say it's long, but this film just flies by for me. But again, if you do look at it in essence, it's fucking 1 hour 15 minutes before we actually have the full setup for the story, and then the rest of the film is just a setup of that. It's the payoff for that, I should say, rather. It's them actually looking for the gold, but it takes until now that we actually get to the quest to find gold. So the first hour and 15 minutes just introducing the characters, introducing in a very slow, methodical way, just slowly introducing everything. So I get it why people are like it's slow, it's dull. Well, actually, I don't fucking get it. Just anyway, I can understand it in a way, but it's definitely not an opinion shared by me. Yeah, before I get to Max, that fly. I mean, not that specific fly, but a fly appears in a lot of scenes in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. You see flies across Eli Wallach's face in pretty much like 3 or 4 different scenes. You see them all the time in this film, and that's one of the things I noticed when I first watched the film. It's like there's a lot of flies in this film. Anyway, Mac Chads is saying Eastwood and Burt Reynolds had the same agent early on, and both got fired the same day. The reason why Reynolds couldn't act and Eastwood had a badly chipped tooth. Yeah. Reynolds said to Eastwood, "Well, you're finished. I can get acting lessons, but you'll always have those teeth." Yeah, that is very true. That actually happened. Yeah. It's a good bit of trivia. Another bit of trivia. The guy here, there's another deleted scene that was redubbed in 2003 and reinstated in 2003. Now, the old the old Confederate sergeant here, he's played by the same guy that plays the station master in the opening of Once Upon a Time in the West. So that's the same guy right there. Apache Canyon. Oh, we're almost close to the intermission for this film. Probably for the best because I'm really hankering for a cigarette right now. And I gotta go for a pee. Gotta go for a piss. Yeah, we're almost close to the intermission bit. That's the thing. I gotta drink a lot because I'm talking a lot and stuff. But the downside to that is I also gotta go to the bathroom. So yeah. Again, I just commend and applaud Gareth for never really taking bathroom breaks during his streams. But then again, Gareth has also never done a film as long as this one, so... Or has he? Has he? Can't think of one right now. If you're here, Gareth, have you done a film that's 3 hours? Except for Scarface, that's 2 hours and 50 minutes, so that's not quite 3 hours. That's 10 minutes shy, we're being specific. God is on our side too, because he hates the Yanks, huh, Blondie? Yeah, there's again many flies in this film. And here we have some more signs of the downside. Well, the horrors and the casualties of war. Again, many people injured here. This guy is missing an arm. This definitely shows the brutalities and and stuff of the war. Also, with a beautiful Morricone score once again, with a beautiful track, I should say, because the old score, we all know that the entire score is fantastic, but this specific track here is again another winner. I also love the track that's coming up when Eli Wallach talks to Father Ramirez, his brother. That's a cool track. You know, a lovely guitar, nice relaxing guitar track. Again, some good comedy here when we just miss it, but when Eastwood and Eli Wallach arrive here at the mission, and the guy's like, "Well, we have no more beds," and Wallach is like, "Well, give him yours." Yeah, that's another good bit of comedy. Again, Wallach has some fantastic lines. And also when he says, like, "Oh, thank you, Father. You don't know what this boy's life is worth to me." I'm like, it's probably worth about $200,000 at this point in gold at Sad Hill Cemetery. That's what Eastwood's life is worth to Wallach at this point. So yeah, Eastwood equals $200,000 at this point, which again was almost a salary for this film. So yeah. Now I do think there somebody has done it. Maybe somebody can do it that's watching along, but $200,000 in Confederate gold buried in a grave and during the Civil War. How much would that be worth now? $200,000 in that time. How much would that be worth now with inflation? Probably be a few million, I think, right? Or at least more than $1 million. I think somebody has done. I think that's on the IMDb trivia page. I think somebody did it, but yeah, it must be a lot with the inflation. This scene coming up here, yeah, I do like this bit again. He's doing the crossing once again, removing the eye patch, drinking the whiskey. Then he goes in to talk to Blondie. Now that scene where he talks to Blondie and the punctuation to that scene, the exclamation mark to that scene, where he throws the coffee in Tuco's face. That's the point where in the original print that's where there was the intermission for the film. So that's where we are going to have our intermission as well. We're going to just quickly take 10 or something, and again, so I can smoke and go to the bathroom. So yeah, our intermission is coming up for again, for those watching along. Just as this scene will come to an end. Ah, perfect. Yeah. Dave says in the intermission you will go across to the shop and get more alcohol. Hey, that's never a bad idea, is it? It's always a good plan. Ah, there you go. Mike has done it for me. Near 4 million. There you go. So $200,000 in gold in the Civil War days would be 4 million or near 4 million nowadays. So imagine getting your hands on all that money. I turn to Tuco as I think about it. Well, I'll get my hands on all that money. And I get my hands on the $200,000. I always honor your memory, Blondie. Yeah, Tuco is going to get some... oh, there you go. Max Chads also did it. $200,000 in 1865. In today's money, it's 3 million. Yeah, pretty much near 4 million. There you go. 3,963. So, yeah, 770. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, $200,000. When Clint says at the end it's a lot of money, we're going to have to earn it. It is a lot of money. We could have all that money in our hands, Blondie. Now, we do get, again, I was going to say, we do get some humanization and some more character moments for Tuco coming up after the intermission, you know, where he talks to his brother. And that's actually an interesting point. Like, again, that's another reason why probably Tuco steals the film, because he's the only character in this film that actually, you know, gets humanized and stuff. The only character really gets some scenes that have depth to him and stuff, you know, that add depth to his character. Because Clint doesn't really have anything of a backstory or any, you know, stuff going on like that. Again, there's that one deleted scene of Lee Van Cleef that got put back in this release. That kind of humanizes him a little bit, but again, the most characterization, the most humanization is definitely for Eli Wallach. So I can definitely again, I wholeheartedly agree with people that say that it's Eli Wallach's film, and Eastwood is more of a supporting character in his own film in this one. I mean, I can definitely see that, yeah. Have some coffee, Blondie. And I do like that shot as well of the the POV of Eastwood where he sees a blurry Eli Wallach. If I get my hands on that $200,000, I will always honor your memory. I swear, Blondie. Yeah, here we have the intermission coming up. Come closer. You son of a... And Dave's going to try to find a mission CD. There you go. Yeah. Yeah, you've had 2 intermissions to find it now, so. And this is our intermission bit. So in this version, it's going to fade to black. There we go. Oh, and that's where we're going to have our intermission for now. So I'm just going to put on quickly this screen right here, put that on a loop, and mute myself and stuff. So I'll be back in a few minutes. I'm just gonna quickly go to the bathroom, and I'll probably take you guys with me when I smoke a cigarette. I'm not gonna take you to the bathroom when I go for a piss, obviously, but I will take you guys with me when I go smoke the cigarette. So you have a few moments to chat amongst yourselves. So I'll be right back after I just take a quick whiz. All right, so we are back. So yeah, we're just still having our intermission. We're having I'm having my cigarette. I don't know what you all are doing in your intermission besides waiting for me to get back to the film, but I'm having my cigarette anyway. So yeah, we're just about halfway through The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and again, it's a huge, epic, adventurous ride so far. It's gonna get even more epic and more huge, obviously, for those that know the film. I think everybody here knows the film, so I don't know why I'm talking around spoilers, but I think everybody here has seen it. One thing I did actually, hang on. Yeah, Dave is probably searching for the mission CD. Let's see, I should have stuff to play actually during this intermission. Let me check. No, I don't have anything. Shit. Mm-hmm. Well, let's just while we are in the intermission, let's. Oh no, this is still the intermission. I'm gonna play a few bits just so I can finish my cigarette. without sitting here in silence. So I'm just gonna play the three trailers that I've played throughout these streams once again. So I'm gonna have Fistful of Dollars followed by For Few Dollars More, and then the quick teaser that I had for The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. We're just gonna play that, which is gonna be about 2 minutes in total, ish. So 2 minute intermission trailer reel coming up here.
The man with no name. Danger fits him like a tight black glove. He is perhaps the most dangerous man who ever lived.
Get 3 coffins ready.
Played by Clint Eastwood. He's going to trigger a whole new style in adventure. A Fistful of Dollars is the first motion picture of its kind. It won't be the last. The man with no name is back.
The man in black is waiting.
A walking arsenal who uncoils, strikes, and kills. Clint Eastwood is the man with no name. Lee Van Cleef is waiting. For a few dollars more, it's the second motion picture of its kind. It won't be the last.
Own The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly Collector's Edition DVD today.
Forgot that wasn't on a loop. There we go. So yeah, now we're back. I'm just waiting for everyone to give me the cue that we can proceed. I'm having my ice cream. Will help with my my dry throat. I'll grab some ice cream to snack on for this for the remainder of the film. Well, this will not last me for the remainder of the film. So I'm just waiting for everyone to give me the thumbs up that you guys are all back and ready to keep going. Let me actually add the TV back. Wait, nope. There we go. So yes, if you guys are ready, we are at the point where he says Tuco water. Well, here's water. So we're gonna hit play. If everybody's ready. There's some background noise going on again. Anyway, how long is... Yeah, so we're at 1 hour, 23 minutes, and 59 seconds. So, okay, Andy Phillips is giving us the thumbs up. Dave, Mike Barrett, Mac Chats, are you guys ready as well? And Ramon and everybody else that's watching, I think. Mike Barrett, right? Excuse me. All right, so if everybody is ready, we are just gonna again start the countdown of 3, 2, and 1, and hit play now to continue. There we go. Tuco water. Well, here's water. So let's continue. Where things are now really gonna get epic. We're gonna get, you know, a lot more Civil War scenes. We're gonna get Tuco at the prison, the guys at the prison camp and stuff. First, we're going to get a more tender, again, more character moment with Tuco and his brother, who again is played by Luigi Pistilli, who we're going to see here in a second. Now, I've did the bio of Luigi Pistilli in the previous stream one for a few dollars more. But yeah, Luigi Pistilli, another character actor, was kind of legendary within these films and also within the Giallo films. I did list his Euro Western appearances, but I think that's also good to talk about some of the other Euro films that he did. He also appeared in Sergio Martino's The Case of the Scorpion's Tail, which is a great Giallo, as well as Your Vice is a Locked Room, Only I Have the Key. And he's also been in Mario Bava's Bay of Blood, also known as Twitch the Death Nerve, also known as Bloodbath, and some other titles. But yeah, Luigi Pistilli, again, character actor that is... you know, once you get into these Italian genres, you will see him pop up constantly. And again, also in Charles Bronson, in Charles Bronson's film Cold Sweat as well, directed by Terrence Young. So yeah, Luigi Pistilli, yeah, Smack Chat's is saying, well-known Italian character actor. Yes, that's another one I forgot. The Iguana with the Tongue of Fire. I do have that Giallo on Blu-ray from Arrow Video. That's a pretty good one. Filmed, yeah, that's filmed in Ireland. That's very true. Where Mac Chats lives. That's awesome. Yeah. Useless trivia. Roger Moore turned down Bond several times. He was offered that Giallo. I did hear about that actually. But after bad reviews on The Man Who Haunted Himself, Moore accepted Bond, leaving Pistilli to replace him. Yeah. Probably for the best, because Roger Moore obviously went on to do Who Live and Let Die and 6 other Bond films after that. So that's definitely a much better career choice, probably. But most definitely. 9 years? So it's 9 years. 9 years. Yeah, but this is a good scene. I really add some humanity to Tuco's character. There's still a lot of glare within the screen, but I think you guys are able to see it. Oh, shit. Oh, there we go. And again, fantastic, beautiful music playing here by Morricone, which is appropriately called Padre Ramirez on the soundtrack. So if you're looking for this particular track, the track is called Padre Ramirez. Go on, preach me a sermon, Pablo. Yeah, and if you guys want a recommendation of probably the other greatest Western that he is in besides these two, my favorite that he is in beyond the Leone films is definitely The Great Silence from 1968 by Sergio Corbucci, which also has, of course, Klaus Kinski in it. The Great Silence, that has a great Luigi Pistilli role as well. So that's another 101 Bronson recommendation right there. And again, as stated in the bio, he sadly committed suicide in the 90s after apparently suffering from depression and stuff. So tragic end to his life, but will always be remembered with these great roles that he had in the Italian genre films. I must say the ice cream is really helping me because I kind of had a very dry throat, very I don't know, very raspy feeling throat, I guess. This is definitely improving it. And again, I love this soundtrack by Morricone, man. If I could do a listen along of the soundtrack instead of a watch party, a watch along, I would do a listen along. I would, but with copyright, it's impossible. But this is a soundtrack that's just, yeah. Thank you, Stacy. Really appreciate it. I'm glad you are enjoying it. I certainly am. I certainly am. My belly's full. I love this scene between Blondie and Tuco. This is, as MacChat says, yeah, it's one of my favorite scenes as well. There's a lot, but yeah. It says, stay, brother, don't go home. We never see each other. And I love, Eastwood, of course, was watching the conversation between Wallach and Pistilli. So Eastwood knows the truth. So that's, Eastwood's, sure. That says so much with just, just one word. We know that Eastwood knows that he's full of shit. And Eli, Tuco probably knows that he's full of shit. But I love how he puts a cigar in his mouth. It's like, well, it doesn't matter. Let's go find $200,000. Pretty much. And then the music kicks in once again. Sure. And after a good meal, there's nothing like a good cigar. Or a good cigarette in my case. Now, Miles Teller, I'm trying to think, is that the guy from the Paramount Plus show The Offer? Because if it is, I think he was great in that. Go, gringo. Yeah, the music kicks in. Miles Teller, now is that the guy I'm thinking of? It is that guy I'm thinking of, okay. Yeah, in that case, sure, yeah. I think he's a good actor, yeah. Dave is back. Took me longer to get back from the shop. No worries. We are at the scene, again, deleted from the original thing, but reinstated in 2003, where Eastwood and Wallach dubbed their own voices once again in 2003. When Eastwood now says, those men aren't worried about anything anymore, are they? So that's where we're at. Again, for this version, that's an hour 31 minutes in. I have been known to smoke a few cigars, yes. I have been known to smoke a few cigars. Occasionally, I do treat myself to a cigar, yeah. And here we have another great gag coming up where, because of all the dust, the blue uniforms look gray. And then Eli Wallach is like, yeah, Mike Barrett knows. Mike Barrett knows the blue or the gray. They're gray like us. Let's say hello to them and get going. And then I love, dusting themselves off, and yeah, they're actually the blue, yeah. God's not on our side because he hates idiots also. Fed an outside cat. General Lee. God's not on our side because he hates idiots also. That's a great. Oh, yes, fucking. You can't see it on the screen there. But that's where we at. So we have the prison camp scene coming up. And our reintroduction for the third time today to Mario Brega. Pretty much Sergio Leone's good luck charm. Again, he was in Fistful of Dollars, the guy that got crushed by the barrel. He was the big bad guy in a few dollars more that was always on Indio's right side, the guy that always gave him the spliffs. And this one, he's Corporal Wallace, arguably his biggest role in the Leone film for sure. This one, that he definitely gets the most to do in this one. He gets the most, actual close-ups and on-screen close-ups and all that stuff. So, Brega again. A lot of people don't know, but he's also Once Upon a Time in America. Pretty unrecognizable because he doesn't have the beard. He lost a lot of weight. Of course, it's 1984 when that film was, 83 or something when it was made. So definitely a few years later. But Mario Brega is in there in a few of the opening scenes of that film. He's one of the three men that enter the Chinese opium den looking for De Niro's character. He's definitely there. Slightly off topic, but is Yellowstone and the other prequel shows worth my time? I don't watch a lot of shows, take up too much time, but I kind of fancy this. I'm kind of the same. I've not seen Yellowstone yet myself. I'm the same way. I don't watch a lot of shows. There are exceptions, obviously, but it's hard for me to get into certain shows. Like, again, I've said this a few times, but a lot of people always recommend Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad is great. I tried watching it for the first few, 3, 4, 5 episodes. I just could not get into it, and I gave up. It's hard for me to get into shows because, I don't know. But I have heard great things about Yellowstone, to be honest. So, and those prequels. So probably one day I will give them a shot myself, but I haven't yet. And finally here, again, if we did not have that extended or the previously deleted Angel Eyes scene, this would have been our reintroduction to Angel Eyes. It would have been a long passage of film without Lee Van Cleef, but it hasn't been that long now. But here he is once again, the great Lee Van Cleef as Angel Eyes. Bill Carson. I love that moment where he turns around right in sync with the music and stuff, and perfect blend of music and visuals. Yeah, you better be Bill Carson. And that's my ice cream finished. You can watch 99% of TV shows. I can't watch there. Yes, yeah, especially when you got these shows that go on for like 10 seasons or so. It's like, wow. Honestly, the only show that has even slightly piqued my interest right now is Dexter Resurrection, which I want to watch as soon as that comes here to the Netherlands. I'm a big Dexter fan. I've watched the full original series of that. I watched Dexter New Blood and Original Sin. And can't wait till I finally get to watch Resurrection, which is airing in the US right now. Hasn't come over here yet, though. I think it's only a few more weeks till we get that. So I'm looking forward to watching some more, the continuation of Dexter. I haven't seen that either yet. So yeah, one episode Alien Earth gave up, so I might dedicate that time to Yellowstone. Yeah, I haven't gone into that show either. I do like Alien, so yeah. Oh yeah, this guy. I had a bio on him. The camp commander Antonio Molino Rojo. Now he was in for $3 more, and he was also in Fistful of Dollars in like small minor roles. But as he has the biggest role in this film, I wanted to give the bio on him for this film. So Antonio Molino Rojo was born in 1926. There's no death date for him, but I'm assuming he's no longer with us. Again, because this book, for where I got the information from, was printed, 10 years ago? So the information is a little out of date on that. But anyway, he's an actor, or he was an actor and director. Sporting youth, Molino Rojo began his film career as an extra and then became a stunt double for one of Spain's most popular stars, Fernando Fernan Gomez. It was during the Western boom, however, that he did most of his work, proving indispensable along with the likes of Aldo Sambrel, Frank Brania, and Lorenzo Robledo. Again, names that I've already mentioned. In a variety of rugged character roles. In the early 80s, he tried directing, turning out a few minor erotic films under the name Red Mills. So that's some interesting trivia, I guess. Anyway, his Euro-Western credits include Two Against All from 1962, Zorro the Avenger in 1962. Again, some people count the Zorro films as Euro-Westerns from that time, but I don't know. Questionable for me, but Black Angel of the Mississippi, 1964, Fistful of Dollars, 64, $5,000 on the Ace, Two Violent Men, Finger on the Trigger for a few dollars more, 1965, Place Called Glory, 7 Hours of Gunfire, Viva Carancho. In 1966, he appeared in Ballad of the Bounty Hunter, Five Giants from Texas, For Juma Gold, $4 of Revenge, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and probably his biggest role as a camp commander, As Long as You're the Commandant. Seven Guns to the McGregors, and once again, The Texican. How many times have I mentioned that film today? It's on everybody's list that was in these films. The Big Gun Down, 15 Scaffolds for a Killer, again. Movies I mentioned. The Man Who Killed Billy the Kid, Ace High, Kill 'Em All, Come Back Alone. Haven't mentioned that one yet today, but Minute to Pray, Second to Die, Once One Time in the West, so he's also in that Leone film. And 69, he's in Gringo, Vengeance Is Mine, Clumsy Hand, Stagecoach of the Condemned, and 20 Steps to Death from 1970. And The Crows Will Dig Your Grave, and Four Candles for My Cold in 1971. He was also in Death Played the Flute, now they call him Sacramento, You're a Traitor and I Kill You in 72. And 1973, he appeared in My Name is Nobody. So those are his... Oh shit, it goes on. Hang on. Or is that a different? No, that's a different. Okay. It goes on. I was going to... Yeah. We still have one more. Yeah, Braga does look like he has a glass eye indeed. And in the previous film, for a few dollars more, he did have a scar, I guess, across his eye as well. So he usually has some kind of facial deformity going on in these films. Alien Earth has been good so far, is what Sean says. Something different with the Alien franchise. Surprise, motherfucker! Yeah. Good old Dokes. Oh, there you go. Antonio Molina Rojo died in 2011. Yeah, but the book did not mention the death date, but there you go. Yeah. When was that book printed then? I thought it wasn't that long ago. Again, Any Gun Can Play, The Essential Guide to Euro Westerns. When was this book printed? Ah, 2011, so probably before his death. So there you go. This book was printed in 2011. Okay, that explains things. That explains things. I do think the author has done an updated version of the book, so I must get that. There's an updated, reprinted version. Anyway, now I'm losing the light a little bit, so I'm gonna turn on the... Oh shit, it's not connected. Hang on. Ugh. Amateur hour. Haha. Not that bright though. Hang on. There we go. Let there be light. Excuse me. The first Aliens film I saw was Alien Resurrection. Now, a lot of people don't like that film, but I actually don't mind Alien Resurrection myself. But, yeah. Of course, no alien film has been fantastic since the second one, so yeah. Sergeant Angel Eyes. Yeah, here we have, again, there's going to be, this is the extended Tuco torture sequence coming up, so there's more footage in this one of poor Eli getting beaten and stuff than there is in the other versions. So my torture scene will run a bit longer than some of you all's scene that's coming up here, so yeah. And one line in Italian. One line that's actually in Italian subtitles, so yeah. Again, it's extended. It's the most complete version. Let's remove this. Yeah, I could not find a neckerchief, so I just used a very long black satin thing here, so improvising. There we go. It's Bill Carson's Tobacco, and then we have the lovely March of a Soldier. And what's the song called? Ballad of a Soldier, I think. It's all in Italian, just bear with me. Oh, La Storia di un Soldato, the story of a soldier, there you go. Which is an English language song. March, Blue and Gray, yeah. March Off to Die and all that stuff. It's a good Civil War theme for this film. There's a lot of great themes for this film. Like, again, it's one of the best soundtracks of Morricone for me. Now this bit, more feeling. This is earlier in my version. I've noticed that the more feeling bit came up as, already for me. And then there's going to be one more line that the camp guy says in Italian. It's like, play faster or sing louder in the back or something. Again, this scene is, again, completely rearranged. It's much different than it is on the other home media versions of the torture scene. So mine runs a bit different, unless you have the Arrow video edition as well, and you're watching that 3-hour version. Yeah, it seems like this shot is longer too, of Eli struggling with Mario Brega. The shot is longer as well before Brega gets on top of him. Was Carson dead or alive when you found him? What did he say about the money? And they did actually manage to make Lee Van Cleef look younger in this film than he does in For a Few Dollars More. There's actually, I mean, they blackened or darkened his hair rather. I think he might actually be wearing a little bit of a hairpiece to give him a fuller head of hair. Because he was kind of, you could tell he was very much balding in For a Few Dollars More. On this one, he does seem to have a bit of you know, a bit more hair growth, more thicker head of hair. So they definitely, you know, de-aged, I guess is the word, Van Cleef for this one, to play a more youthful, you know, villain rather than the old Colonel from For a Few Dollars More. How's your digestion now? Yeah, poor Eli really gets put through it here. I mean, I can see why they would cut this scene because, again, 1966 or 67 when it came out in the US, this is brutal for the day, right? You know, just this guy getting punched and beaten, you know, like, it goes on and on and on, just the amount of, you know, stuff that he, again, the amount of punishment. You know, this is the one line in Italian coming up, I think. The only line in this entire film now, in this complete version, that is not in English. So that's quite a feat, you know, that all the footage of this, after all these years, a lot of it is in English now. Because you get a lot of films, like The Big Gun Down, where they switch, if you want to watch the full version of those, of The Big Gun Down, you will switch from Italian to English quite frequently if you want to watch the English dub version. You get a lot of scenes that switch to Italian. So it's quite a feat that for this one, it's only now one line in Italian, so yeah. when I saw, yeah, it was jarring when I saw this extended cut, because I was like, oh yeah, this is different. This is, again, because I'm so used to the other extended cut that seeing even more footage, and this particular scene being a little rearranged and stuff and with more stuff. It definitely is a little bit jarring. Play that fiddle, you. So yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by the inclusion of this much bigger, even more extended version. Again, there's pretty much like an, oh, here's the Italian line. You in the back sing louder, so that's subtitled, so yeah. You in the back sing louder. And then the shots of these people are definitely extended. This wasn't in the other version. So yeah, you guys are seeing new stuff here. Well, again, if you guys can see it on that screen there. And it's also a rearranged version of the Morricone song as well. Which, yeah. And only now we have the bit where Eastwood is standing outside the wall and the other guy goes, you can consider yourself much luckier than your pal. That line coming up right now. Wallace will punch him as long as the song goes. So many of us had a session in that. I mean, I get it. Again, like I said, that this was cut back then. And I do believe when I watched the special features on the MGM DVD and Blu-ray, where they had the behind the scenes on the restoration, they actually did talk about finding the footage for the full uncut torture sequence, but they were not able to clean it up properly and stuff. Arrow has managed to do it, so again, we gotta commend Arrow for their work on this transfer, on the work for the work on this. It's, well, I would say hats off, but my hat is already off, so yeah, hats off to Arrow. They did what MGM wanted to do back then for the 2003 re-release. It's buried in a grave. So now Tuco is finally at the breaking point, and he has given up the location of the cemetery, well, the name of the cemetery. Which grave? I mean, does anyone look cooler smoking a pipe than Lee Van Cleef? The way, I don't know, he just looks so fucking cool. So now Lee Van Cleef knows or Angel Eyes knows the name of the cemetery. Now he just needs Clint for the name of the grave. But as Lee Van Cleef says, well, not that you're tougher than Tuco, but you're smart enough to know that talking won't save you. So he actually strikes up a proposition, 50-50 partnership. So they both go out looking for the gold, the $200,000. Where to find $200,000? I know the name of the cemetery now, and you know the name of the grave. And then Clint actually does pick up his shirt and the sheep. Yeah, that's what word. Sheepskin vest. That's what I was looking for. But he doesn't have the poncho yet. The poncho will still have to wait until the final reel of the film. Yeah, there we go. The poncho will still have to wait, but we do get the waistcoat and the shirt that he was wearing in the previous films. But he still has not picked up his poncho. I mean, the gun belt. He will have the gun belt as well. And the rattlesnaked Colt 45. No, not the Colt 45. He has a different gun in this. He has the Colt. What is it? The Navy revolver. I think it's a Navy. Yeah. So that's another sign that this is different from the other two, because he uses a different gun, different revolver. Same gun belt, though. Again, that's a gun belt that he brought from Rawhide. Yeah. Again, Clint Eastwood, cool as a cucumber on this. And poor Tuco is being hauled off on the train, and we're going to get that fantastic scene on the train with him and Breaker. If you know, you know. We're going to get there in just a bit. put the joint there. I don't think I'll have to. I think, really, I think these are the definitive end-all versions of the film. I don't think there's going to be any necessity for another version. These are pretty much perfect in every aspect in terms of what you get with it, the special features that you get with it. Again, the fact that you have like 5 or 6 different versions of the film to watch. The contents that come with it in terms of the booklet and the poster, the documentary that comes with it. It's a 4-disc set. I mean, definitive version. And the same goes for the other 2. So as much as I love the films, this will be it for me, for sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure 8K will become a thing, but I don't think I will ever switch to 8K. I mean, I already took, it already took me like 4 or 5 years before I jumped to 4K. So yeah, because I was like, well, how much of a difference is there? But I finally caved once I did need to get a new television. I was like, well, if I have a 4K TV, I might as well, have a few films in 4K to watch. So, but 8K, it's not something I'm going to jump to any day soon if that becomes a proper thing. And again, the amount of detail, I'm just showing how epic this is. I mean, just check out the amount of people here on screen. Check out that train. Check out the rail yard that they actually put on, because there was not a there was not a train track here in Almeria, Spain. They actually put all that stuff there for the film. The production value is all on screen right now. And when the train actually rides out, at the back of the train, you see the cannon. Just such great attention to detail. And people were like, Sergio, where did you find that? How'd you come up with the cannon on the back of the train? Leone pulled out a book. It's like, hey, I got it from this book. It's a Civil War book. So that's, yeah. I don't think so. I don't think I will live to see a 16K Mega HD or Mega, yeah, whatever. I don't think yeah. I don't think so. And here again is another deleted scene that was put back in 2003 with Lee Van Cleef and Clint Eastwood resting at the. Here's some weird animal in the background. I never quite figured out what that animal is that makes this noise, but. Hi, Alucard. Here we've got the good, where's the bad, and the ugly, aka Gareth. Don't let him hear that. He was here earlier. Anyway, welcome, Al. And Clint, yeah, he's never sleeping. He's always has one eye open. So this is the bit where we're at, folks. They're liable to catch a cold, aren't they? Or a bullet. And now we're introduced to Angel Eyes' gang. Again, we're going to have some recognizable faces who we recognize from the other 2 films that we just watched. Yes, I've seen that, yeah. It'll probably be after, probably be around the time when I wrap this stream up. So I will definitely, I will tune in for moral support. Aldo Sombral, Benito Stefanelli, Romano Pupo. There is Lorenzo Robildo. Again, some of the people we've seen in the few films, in the last few films we've seen. Again, recognizable faces. Leone always had a stock company of actors for these films. So yeah, again, Aldo Sombral is part of the gang here as well. I remember one of my favorite films, Transformers, the movie, had a 6K scan. I thought, why not just release that? Yeah, I mean, that fantastic Dirty Harry 4K that just came out, I think that was a scan from, or a downgrade from an 8K scan or something. I think that's why that Dirty Harry 4K looks that good, because they actually scan it in 8K. So, oh shit, ooh, there goes the charger. So, I mean, we are getting, more case, I guess, in the near future, but I don't think it's going to be as big as, Blu-ray or 4K, Anyway, we shall see. Controversial opinion, for a few dollars more is my favorite trilogy. Hey, not controversial at all, Al. That's quite a few people have that opinion. And again, like I said, I mean, I'm not going to dispute or argue with any people's picks for favorite Leone film or favorite the trilogy or stuff. You know, I wouldn't argue with anyone that says Fistful is their favorite, or For a Few Dollars More, or The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, or Once Upon a Time in the West. The only one I will argue with is people say that Colossus of Rhodes is their favorite. That's the only one I will argue with. But if you pick any from A Fistful of Dollars right up until Once Upon a Time in America, I'm not going to argue with you. Because all 6 of those Leone films are masterpieces. Yeah, that's not controversial. It's an opinion I've heard a lot of. I mean, I think Mike Barrett feels the same way about For a Few Dollars More. So, there goes Mario Brega right off the train. I love this bit. Again, pretty brutal. Yeah, you guys can't see it. Oh, there it is a little bit. Yeah, he's smashing his head against a rock. Apparently that was cut by the censors in the UK. I can see that because, yeah, it's kind of brutal, but it's in all its glory right here. Pincho, it would be his favorite, yeah. Gareth doesn't appreciate these films for the high art that they are, so yeah, he's probably the type that would have that as his favorite. I never understood why the gun jammed. Like, why would Mario Brega, as a sergeant of the Yankee Army, why would he be carrying a gun that, you know, is jammed or blocked or doesn't work? Or is it because of the fall and the tumble that it kind of got stuck? Like, what is it? Why is the gun that Wallach grabs from him, why doesn't it work? Why does it malfunction? I've always been curious about that. It's never really explained. Just he picks up the gun, nothing works on it. So maybe a lot of dust got in it because of the fall and the tumble. But anyway, here's a scene where Eli Wallach almost died again with the train. Again, a lot of glare in the screen, but that's Eli Wallach actually there by the train track with a train whizzing by his head. And if he just raised his head a little bit, he would have been decapitated because of the low steps on the train, you know, where you can step on it, going just by his head. It's, yeah, no CGI, no trickery, right? This is, yeah. That's impressive. That's more impressive than any of the fucking CGI crap in any Fast and Furious film. It's just watching a train go by Eli Wallach's head like this. That's more impressive to me than anything in the Fast and Furious films. And a great Morricone punctuation once again with the music here. Fantastic. Five-man posse. I'm not gonna pick a 5-man posse because I don't want to leave people out. I don't want to leave people out. I would have all of them, all of my good buddies on YouTube. I couldn't pick just 5. Mario Brega gets dragged so far by the train. I'm surprised he wasn't charged a fare. That is true. At first, I thought the train would just flatten him and stuff, but you know, it just drags him for a bit. And then here, a makeshift firing squad. Again, Leone also showing the again the casualties of war and, you know, the horror of war, you know. No, it doesn't. Can you imagine? Oh, Jesus Christ. Can you imagine Vin Diesel in The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly? Just the thought of that would make Carlos's blood rise if he's watching. So, Pop Shot Hot Quiz. What do you guys think? Is this the best movie that deals with the Civil War? It's definitely the best, most entertaining for me, but other than maybe Gone with the Wind, but I'm not a big fan of that film anyway. But here's Tuco once again. We're gonna get the famous "if you have to shoot, shoot, don't talk" bit coming up in just a few minutes, with Al Wallach returning from the opening scene. Yeah, that's a good question. Not one that I have the answer to. probably something in the late 90s, early 2000s, right? So, but definitely not Open Range. Open Range does not have any CGI in it, at least not that I've noticed. Usually I have a pretty good eye for those sort of things. Yeah, that's a good question. You would have to Google that. What's the first Western to have CGI? Maybe CGI for the gunfire or stuff like that. But here's Eli Wallach's reappearance in the film. Again, he was the first face that we saw in this film. Like, he was the guy that just came up like that in front of the camera at the opening. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. Westworld. Vin as Tuco. Oh God, give me strength. No. Eli Wallach is irreplaceable as Tuco. Can you imagine? Jesus. Lord have mercy. No. Oh yeah, I think I have to remove the TV screen in this scene because we do see Eli Wallach's ass when he gets up from the bathtub. Okay, I was lying then when I said, and for a few dollars more, that's the closest we're gonna get to nudity, because we do see fucking Eli Wallach's his ass. It's always something I forget about because, well, a guy's ass isn't as memorable as tits and a woman's ass. So yeah, to me anyway. To each their own, of course. But yeah. Outlaw Josie. Oh yeah. That is true. Outlaw Josie Wales is set during the Civil War. Yeah. But I would say this one is, yeah. I agree. I mean, I would definitely take this. As much as I love Outlaw Josie Wales, and I do, I really, really do. Yeah, this is definitely one that I would take over Outlaw Josie Wales. I mean, Outlaw Josie Wales is not even my favorite American Western. I mean, I tend to go towards Unforgiven for favorite American Western. Or High Noon, or Rio Bravo. I mean, there's a lot, but yeah, Unforgiven is fantastic. Yeah, we're gonna get yeah, there's a cool scene here coming up. And again, yeah, this is apparently an ad lib by Eli Wallach. You know, when you have to shoot, don't talk. But it makes so much sense. It's like that's the line that 007 should say to a lot of these Bond villains: when you have to shoot, don't talk. You know. Imagine if villains just did the thing instead of just keep on talking. Yeah, there would have been so many other different endings to films. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I'm surprised, but I'm also relieved. You know, that they didn't try to remake this. There we go. Boom, boom. When you have to shoot, don't talk. I quickly check something. All right, okay, we're all good. There it is. And then we have Clint Eastwood. Again, there's a cat in this film. There he's petting a cat. You can almost see it there. Because I got that question on For a Few Dollars More. Is any one of these films with a cat in it? Yeah, this is the one. So we have the bat, and on screen was the cat. Not Patrick though, but Jeff, have you seen Rust? The one where the problematic one. Yeah. Woman got shot for realsies. Yeah. May she rest in peace, as Tuco would probably do. Yeah. At the end of the movie, they're doing a touching tribute to her. The movie was good also. I've not seen the movies yet. I think it's finally released now, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll have to give it a watch. But definitely, I think the problematic behind the scenes stuff of that is going to be the more known thing about that film for years to come. Oh, I just love this soundtrack. Yeah, this is Lorenzo Robledo, again, the guy in Fistful of Dollars that spits. You know, when he's laughing at Clint's mule, which he shouldn't have done. And Tuco in the bathtub. Yeah, but I will probably check out Rust sometime soon. I'm gonna remove the TV because we're gonna see Eli Wallach's ass. Or is it? Would it be coming up on the screen? Ah, you can barely see it. It's okay. Yeah. I feel like I say this every stream, but there is a Japanese remake of Unforgiven. Or is there? No, it's a question. Is there a remake? I think so. I think I don't know if Ramon is still here, but Ramon will be able to answer that for sure. Ramon is more versed in the Asian cinema than I am. I'm limited when it comes to. I'm pretty limited when it comes to Asian cinema myself, which is my loss. But yeah, I want to check out more, but it's just yeah. There's so much to check out. If I did, I probably wouldn't be here now. So you know you have the secret, Blondie. Blondie, I'm very happy that you're walking with me and we're together again. I'll get dressed, I go kill him, and we'll be right back. Oh, I forgot to mention, he's not alone. There's 5 of them. So that's why you came to Tuco. It doesn't matter. I kill them all. How could you not love Tuco? It doesn't matter. I kill them all. I'm out of energy drinks now. I got 4 of those cans just for the streams. Streams, plural. They've lasted right up until now, so hey, that's good. Did I went through all my notes? I did, yeah. The only other thing I've left to talk about is Mickey Knox, who did the English dub versions, or he just pretty much did the English dialogue versions. Mickey Knox, yeah. Who actually, yeah, Mickey Knox, he's on the special features for the old MGM DVD or the old Blu-ray, and that's also poured over to the Arrow release as well. But yeah, Mickey Knox, the bio for him, from the book, Any Gun Can Play. It says, Knox's Hollywood acting career, he used to be an actor, came to an abrupt halt when he was blacklisted after refusing to testify before the HUAC. Again, McCarthy hearings and stuff, right? Seeking refuge in Italy, he acted in minor roles and adapted dialogue, devising quotable lines for the English versions of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and Once Upon a Time in the West in particular. He was also executive producer of Duccio Tessari's Long Live Your Death from 1971, a none too happy experience he recounts with great wit in his 2004 autobiography, The Good, the Bad, and the Dolce Vita. So Mickey Knox, yeah, he did the English dialogue for both this one and Once Upon a Time in the West. So all the one-liners and stuff like that we have coming up here in a second, where he says, idiots, it's for you. That's Mickey Knox. Again, this is a pretty cool scene here in the middle of the street with the cannon fire going off and stuff. And this finally restores the correct gunshot sound effects, because that's one thing that always bothered me, as well as it did many people for the other releases of The Good, the Bad, where they mixed the gunshots, kind of like the Terminator, and everybody knows about the remix gunshot effects on the Terminator. Similar thing with The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly DVD and Blu-ray. Now we have the correct sound effects for the guns again, taken from the original mono track, I should add. So yeah, we finally have the correct gunshot sound effects once again for this film, and not the revisionist, yeah, whatever the fuck those things were in the other versions. When I always do commentaries like this, I try to find a random crew member. I'll try to find one now. I love that bit. Some teamwork between Blondie and Tuco. Yeah, I guess that's the thing when you have a 3-hour film. You kind of, even if you do make a lot of notes, you will have plenty of time to, I should have spread the trivia fact, and so I should have spread them out a bit more. So I could kind of make it last throughout the entire film, but I kind of shot my load in, I guess, in the first hour or so. For most of these people, anyway. Plus, I already mentioned, of course, a lot of people in the other films, because a lot of cast members and crew members as well carry over. I guess I can talk about the cinematographer, because, of course, we did mention earlier the cinematography for this film. Which, to be fair, for the first 2 films, the cinematography was fantastic for Fistful of Dollars, and for a few dollars more, which was Massimo Dallamano. Now, Massimo Dallamano, he also directed a few films. He directed Bandidos, which is another great spaghetti western from '67 or '68 with Enrico Maria Salerno. Deep Cut. Enrico Maria Salerno is the Italian voice for Clint Eastwood in these 3 films. So in the Italian dub, it's him doing the voice for Eastwood. So that's a deep cut right there. Fucking clock's going off. Oh, it's going to strike 9 times because it's 9 p.m. right now. But no, for the first 2 was Massimo Dallamano. Again, he also directed the Giallo What Have You Done to Solange, which is a great Giallo film. For this film and from pretty much every Sergio Leone film from this point onwards, right up until Once Upon a Time in America, the cinematography will be done by Tonino Dellicoli, who is a legendary cinematographer. He's also done some other great films. I think he's also the one that did The Name of the Rose with Sean Connery and Christian Slater. He also did the cinematography on that film, as well as countless other films. So yeah, Tonino Dellicoli, and again, he also did Once Upon a Time in the West, Docu-Sucker, and Once Upon a Time in America with Leone as well. So. Robin Williams, what Western roles would Robin Williams have worked in a Western? That's a good point. I suppose he would have. What roles? I think something similar to like a Tuco role would have been good for Robin Williams. Something with a little more tongue-in-cheek, a little bit more humorous. So I could see him in a kind of Tuco-esque role. Yeah. And we interrupt the search of gold for more Civil War stuff. That's pretty much. Now, I gotta be honest, as much as I love this film, and I still, again, I love this scene as well, but when I first watched the film for the first few times, I did always find this particular bit with the bridge. That was the one point where I was like, okay, well, that's a little, slow moving. Why is it here? Kind of like that one. I was a teenager. Certainly doesn't bother me nowadays anymore, and it's just a great part of this big epic film. But when I was a teenager, this was the one bit where I was like, okay, well, I might have cut that from the film. How naive I was. And again, this the camp commander, played by Aldo, I can't pronounce his last name, but the dubbing for him is Bernard Grant, who did Gianmaria Volanti's dubbing in the other 2 Dollars films, so it's the same voice. And he would also dub Gabriel Forzetti in Once Upon a Time in the West as Mr. Morn, or Mr. Choo Choo, as Jason Robards refers to him. Yeah, the drunken Union soldier, Union captain right here, with his bottle of whiskey. Hang on, I'm just gonna pour myself some. Just found Nazareno Neri. He was born 1974, the same year as me, and he was the final colorist And did the same job on a 2025 film called Find Your Friends. Oh, awesome. Hang on, where's my glass? Too much stuff around here. This, sir, is the most potent weapon in war. The fighting spirits in this bottle. Yeah, let's add some whiskey to that. Again, lovely cork. Let's just add a dash of whiskey there. Okay, I did that comment. All right, Sarah Kane is here. Never seen so many men wasted so badly. Classic line by Clint. Yes, and that's, again, Clint is a pretty quiet, sort of very mysterious character, but that's one of the moments where, yeah, you do see a bit more of, again, a little bit more of character and personality and stuff coming through, and something that does make him the quote-unquote the good, the good who isn't all too good, but he still has a lot of good things about him. No. Yeah, you can definitely tell when the captain is laughing. It's pretty much the same laugh that Ramon Rojo and Al Indio had in the previous two films. The laughter is definitely the dead giveaway that it's the same guy doing the dubbing. 2 attacks a day. Yeah, he definitely has white teeth. Yeah, look at those beautiful white chompers. Yeah. Would people in the Old West have that amount of white teeth? I'm not so sure, but yeah. Now, I'm used to having two sides fighting for a bridge ever since I played the video game Red Revolver when I was a kid. Once again, that's pretty much my first big introduction to the Western genre. There was a big level in that which pretty much was inspired by this bridge sequence where you play as a general, you have to blow up the bridge, and the other side of the on the other side of the bridge, people were fighting with you and stuff. You had a big battle. So I played the video game version of the bridge scene before I watched the bridge scene in The Good, the Bad, the Ugly. So, boom! In here, I destroyed it all. Sort of, yeah, In the Mouth of Madness, right? Yeah. Great film. Underappreciated John Carpenter film. When I really blew it up, Captain. Yeah, Captain, he's nothing. Let's get the hell out of them. Yeah, that laugh is unmistakable. That's definitely the laugh that Ramon and Al Indio had as well. I sure have. I think once we reach the 3-hour mark on this stream, I think it will officially be the longest stream I've done, I think. I don't think even the Paint Your Wagon watch party was this long. That did have an intermission, like a huge intermission in the middle of the film, so which I took full advantage of. Let's see. How long was my Paint Your Wagon watch party? Where is my Paint Your Wagon watch party? That's what I... Oh, that was a year ago. Yeah, that stream was 2 hours and 48 minutes was my Paint Your Wagon stream. So this is definitely going to reach well beyond the 3-hour mark. So this is definitely going to be my longest stream that I've done. Oh no, I'm lying. Look at this. My Rocky and Rocky 2 double feature was 4 hours. My Rocky 3 and Rocky 4 was 3 hours, 31 minutes. Rocky 5 and Rocky Balboa double feature was 4 hours. So I've done longer streams. Okay. We might not reach Rocky double feature level on this one, but considering I've done the other 2-hour films before this, so it has been quite a long day for everyone, for all the troopers of the 1-1 Bronson gang here. This is where all the epicness is on screen right here. It's your favorite color, blue, too. Yes, I am a Carpenter fan. I've not seen every single Carpenter film, but I've seen the big hitters for the most part. And even, like I said, that one. No green, but for the sake of the film, yeah. Looks like the captain is really asking for a bullet in his guts. Yeah. And they just happen to stumble upon some dynamite here, and again, this is just epic. The big battle between both sides. It's probably for the best that there's a bit of glare with the TV. But yeah. Never seen so many men who wasted so badly. I mean, this is a big epic scene. Is it necessary for this story? Probably not, but it is a big epic scene nonetheless. I mean, the only thing it does for the story is, well, they have to get past the bridge, and they can't get past the bridge when these people are fighting. So that's the only reason for it, really, story-wise, being in there. But again, you know, it's just so epic. I'm not even gonna fucking, you know, complain about it. It's. And again, yeah, this Russell did when he was here for Fistful of Dollars and for a few hours more, and the opening 45 minutes of the Good Bad. He did tell us a few times about the bridge blowing up. Obviously, they had to do that twice because they accidentally blew up the bridge without any cameras rolling. You know, they had the Spanish army building the bridge, and the Spanish army, they actually built the cemetery as well. You know, because obviously it was such a big undertaking, they had to get a lot of people, so they got some people from the army to do it. And they did such a good job that Sergio Leone promised the Spanish army captain that he could blow up the bridge if he got the signal. I think I was gone there for a second, wasn't I? Anyway. No, somehow the captain, the Spanish army captain, he misheard, and he thought he got the signal to blow the bridge up, but yeah, it was a miscommunication, and the bridge blew up. Everybody was like, "Holy shit!" And then Clint Eastwood was like, "Wouldn't it be funny if they didn't have a single camera rolling?" And that turned out to be the case, because Sergio Leone got furious and stuff, and he got spin mad and all that stuff, and. Yeah, it was a big thing, and the Spanish captain, they did promise to rebuild the bridge, and I think they had 2 weeks or so to rebuild the bridge, and then we're gonna get it the way we have it on film now. But yeah, they did mess up the first time with the bridge, so. Yes, that is my favorite Leone film as well. But I have to say the finale, yeah, Ecstasy of Gold is, yeah. The final 20 minutes is just chef's kiss in this film. It's, yeah. Again, like I said, it's this close between The Good, the Bad, the Ugly and Once Upon a Time in the West for me, but yeah, it's both are 10 out of 10 masterpieces. Take a slow to this, Ken, and keep your ears open. Yeah, the Halloween video game, that's something that's happening. I saw some things about that earlier this week. What is the other one? Because I only know about the Halloween one, so please tell me, because I'm definitely interested. Yeah, the screenshots that I've seen for it does look good. I haven't seen any footage, I've seen screenshots, but It does look good, yeah. Here we go. We're gonna have Blondie and Tuco go and yeah, they're devising their plan to go and blow up the bridge for the captain. Yeah, definitely it's very inconspicuous, them walking around with a stretcher with a box on it that says explosives on either side. Sure, nobody's gonna notice. Again, I'm probably picking holes where I shouldn't be picking holes, so yeah. It's just something that, you know, I'm noticing after my 1 millionth watch of this. My gazillionth watch of this. I've watched this a lot. And excuse me. Yeah, I like this bit here where they pretend to actually pick up one of the wounded or dead. It's like they're watching or they're not watching. Let's drop him and get back to the explosives. And again, there's another great scene coming up here between Blondie and Tuco when they are rigging the bridge with the dynamite. You know, and when they say let's tell each other the half of the secret and stuff, and when Tuco is kind of struggling to put, you know, to get the Sad Hill name out. I just love how he prolongs it before he actually spits out the Sad Hill cemetery name. Ah, the other game is called Toxic Commando. I've not heard of this one. Toxic Commando. Yeah, Tuco. Sure would be a pity. John Carpenter's Toxic Commando. First-person shooter. Wow. Okay. Okay. Awesome. I'll do some more research on that after, because that looks interesting. I want to read up more on that. But yeah, awesome. Yeah, Tuco. Sure would be a pity. Just already. That's actually an Eastwood film that I still have to watch. Yeah, if I have that, that's my Eastwood collection complete as well. So yeah, same for me. Same for me. I should do the entire stream talking like Clint. Yeah, Juror number 2. I still have to get that as well. I haven't watched it yet. That could be interesting. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Wesley Snipes. Imagine if they did a crossover like Blade in the West. Wesley Snipes returning as Blade and set it in the Old West. Hey, Blondie. Why don't we tell each other I have the secret? Why don't we? It's better that you start. Yeah, so again, the blowing of the bridge. I mean, this is going to be one big, giant-ass explosion. Another trivia fact about this, Sergio Leone actually told Clint and Eli to be a bit more closer to the bridge, and he was going to be like, oh, just, you know, go down in the trenches, you'll be fine and stuff, take cover. And Clint was like, where are you going to be, Sergio? And then Sergio was like, I'm going to be up on a hill there with the camera. And then Clint was like, I think that's where we're going to be. Because Clint knew that the Italians weren't really that safety conscious with the stunts and explosions. So, and I think actually Christopher Frayling said that in the long shots, the guys actually diving for cover while the bridge explodes, those are actually body doubles for Clint and Eli. They were actually up in the hill with Sergio filming the whole thing behind the camera. because yeah, I mean, if you do look at the footage here, when the bridge explodes, you see debris and rocks like pretty much like flying towards where they are. They are dug down by those sandbags. So I guess they made the right call because yeah, there's the explosion. Damn, that's loud. And I've got the volume turned down too. Yeah, there's the epic bridge explosion. So juror number 2 at the cinema, even though it was just me and my mate in there, felt right. Yeah, I would have seen it, but it just didn't work out, scheduling wise or stuff. So I would have liked to have seen it, but I haven't seen it yet. But I definitely will. I mean, I've got pretty much every Clint Eastwood film from Fistful of Dollars onwards, anyway. So that would be the one that would make it complete again. So. I do have that. Yeah, that's in the. If you guys can see it, in that white box up there, that's a Clint Eastwood box set. Ooh, there we are. There we are. Yeah, it's in there. It's in there. I know I've said this before, but when my sister said, "Was Clint playing the judge?" Yeah, the judge. I thought that. Yeah, I mean, I think originally Clint was going to have a actor role or an acting appearance in that film. I remember reading that because they were really touting it as like, oh, Clint's in front of the camera again. I was like, oh, cool. But then it was like, no, he's director only. It's like, well, it's still cool, but would have loved to have seen Clint in the film. Even in a small role, yeah. So now it's the morning after. We pretty much had a passage of time in a little mini montage, I guess, of everybody firing the cannons across and stuff. Now it's the morning after. All the troops have left, and now Clint and Eli, they can finally go to the Sad Hill Cemetery and finish the quest for $200,000 in gold. And this is one of the things I never really noticed until I watched the film a good few times. Eli Wallach actually just took a piss, and you can see the piss trail on the floor when he walks away. So as the camera sort of goes around, when it finally comes back, he's done with taking a piss. So that's a cool detail because, hey, it's in the morning, they just slept. Usually people tend to go for a piss when they just woke up. So yeah, it's a good little detail. Just look at the scenery. Look at the beautiful. Again, this is more in the northern area of Spain, right here. This is more in Burgos, near Madrid. So this is not in the southern part of Spain, Almeria, like most of the other locations are. Here, there's a bit more forest area, a bit more greenery. It still looks amazing. And this is actually where this is actually where my good friend Carlos has been. He's actually visited Sad Hill Cemetery because that place has been rebuilt, of course, as there is evidence for in the documentary Sad Hill Unearthed. My good buddy Carlos has been to this region right here in Burgos. He's visited the Sad Hill Cemetery. He sent me the pictures and stuff. It looks amazing. Another one that's on my list of locations to visit is this part in the northern part of Spain. When you gotta go, you gotta go. That line always makes me think of The Godfather when Sterling Hayden says the line to Pacino. Have you heard the rumor that Clint Eastwood was the son of Stanley Laurel? Not true, of course. No, that's not true. But Clint was aware of it and thought it was funny. I have heard that, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely not true. Yeah, that's pretty funny. I spot the poncho. I spot the poncho that Clint's going to be wearing for the finale, so we'll get ready as well. There we go. Um, Not many films have piss takes. That is true. That is true. Again, it was Psycho. That was the first film that showed a toilet flushing. So yeah. And again, this is probably Blondie's one, kind of big humanizing moment in the film where he offers a puff of a cigar to this dying soldier, a final puff of the cigar. This does really humanize Clint, Blondie in this film. That's a great moment. I love how when the soldier dies, you can still see the smoke exiting from him and stuff. It's like his ultimate last breath, right? It's very well done. Yeah. Great docu, yeah. The Sad Hill on Earth. Yeah, Grand Canyon. Yeah, I mean, if I want to visit American Western locations, I mean, Monument Valley for sure. Now he's picking up the poncho, and Tuco is riding off because he knows the name of the grave now. So he immediately's like, "So long, Blondie." But Clint has other ideas. There's a lovely cannon there, all ready to fire. There's the iconic shot. If you guys can, yeah, it's come up a little bit there. Lighting the cannons with the cigar. Love it. Absolutely love it. Prepare for the ecstasy of gold coming up. I'm going to be once again in cinema heaven at this point here. Yeah, I watched it last week as well. I rewatched it. I watched it when it came out on Netflix, but I had not seen it since, but I watched it again just a few days ago, last week. It's amazing. There we go. The ecstasy of gold coming up. Tuco standing up, and we hear the opening notes. And from this point on, this is the greatest finale to any film. I will stick by that statement. This is the greatest final 20 minutes of any film. Scarface is my favorite movie of all time. That has a great ending. Once Upon a Time in the West is my favorite Western. That does also have a great ending, but this has a great finale. I mean, just everything from this point on is pure cinema, and I actually don't want to talk too much over this because I want to listen to the music a bit, but I know I got to talk a little bit, but I'm hearing the music. I'm getting goosebumps. One of the greatest tracks ever made right here. Anyway, Clint's going to be wearing his poncho in a bit, so. Hang on, does it right? There we go. I know I'm supposed to be talking a little bit over this, but how could you talk over this masterpiece of a scene? Again, perfect marriage of music and visuals. Frank and harmonica. Only at the point of dying. I know. I mean, there is a lot of graves there. I mean, I think Sergio Leone originally wanted 10,000 graves to be there. I don't know if it's quite 10,000, but it definitely reaches a high number. I know that. I mean, it's circular, goes all the way around. It's a lot of graves. Again, the Spanish army pretty much built the entire cemetery there. I get dizzy always from this camera shot here. And just rotates. Look at Eli running. Yes, it's you could wear it as a blanket, especially for the summertime. It's quite thin. It's not too thick or anything. Could probably use it as a blanket in the summertime, or if it's a little hotter. Yeah, that is Grand Canyon, also Monument Valley. Yeah, that is very true. That was the first film where Sergio Leone shot in America. Here's the grave of Arch Stanton, right next to the grave Unknown. I wonder who's in the unknown grave. I've not seen Metallica live, but I'm well aware of the fact that yes, they do use that as an intro whenever they go on stage. Yeah, I mean that's a great effing song, you know. Metallica appreciates the song, and Morricone as well. So. Oh, I've got the hat on backwards and nobody told me. That's the way the hat should be. There we go. Funny enough, always right in the mouth of madness. Oh yeah, that does have a good ending. Yeah. Last 10 seconds. There you go. Yeah. And here we go. Another pure cinema moment. Eastwood appearing once again finally in the iconic poncho. We're 2 hours and 44 minutes in, and this is where we finally see him wearing the iconic poncho. So we had to wait a while for it, but it's finally here in full glory. Eastwood has now become the man with no name that we know. Oh, well, the man with a name, but the man that we've seen in the previous two films. So definitely, I can see why people consider this as the prequel. And again, story-wise, it makes sense, or timeline-wise, because this is a Civil War, and all the other two films, they take place after the Civil War. So yeah. Here's Lee Van Cleef. Now the trio was complete, and we're gonna get the freeway showdown in the circle in the middle of the kind of bullfight ring, right? So it's very yeah. You're not digging. Yeah, that's up there for me as well. Yeah. Keep your loving brother happy. Again, and that's one of my favorite pieces of music as well, is the Man with a Harmonica theme from Once Upon a Time in the West. Eli doing the cross again there. There's nothing in there. Yeah, it's just all through flashbacks and the intense close-up of the eyes of Bronson. That's another pure fantastic visual scene, you know, perfect blend again of music and cinema. For Once Upon a Time in the West, I think even more so, because all the music was written before a single frame was filmed in that film. You know, all the music was finished before the film even started shooting. Now for this one, I think Leone did start with that. I mean, I think that Ecstasy of Gold and the trio, the song that's coming right now for the freeway, those two tracks were written before the film as well, or they had some version of it already before the film. But for Once Upon a Time in the West, that's when all the the music was written beforehand, and pretty much the complete version as well. That is the version that I'm watching as well, Sutter. Yeah, that is the version I'm watching. 3 hour. 3 hour, 1 minute and 57 seconds to be more precise, is what the runtime is on it. Yeah, that is absolutely the most complete scenes. That's the version we've been watching, or the version that I have put on anyway. And again, Eastwood placing down the stone, perfectly timed with the music. Anyway, there was a question from Stacy. Who's your favorite 5 directors overall? Sergio Leone is my favorite director of all time. Quentin Tarantino is my second favorite. Then it gets a little trickier. Then I would probably go for the likes of Martin Scorsese, Spielberg, and I'm gonna throw Clint Eastwood is a great director, but I'm not going to throw Clint in here now. I do love a lot of the films that he did. I'm going to throw in Brian De Palma because, well, Scarface is my favorite film of all time. I have to throw De Palma in somewhere. So I could have gone for Francis Ford Coppola as well, you know. But yeah, Morricone on it. Yeah, exactly. That is one of my favorite Morricone scores as well. Very bleak, very haunting. Yeah, The Great Silence. I think he really wants to, Spielberg. Probably will be. You guys can't see it because of the reflection, but now we have the big wide shot of all three in a circle. The music is swelling up with the great trumpet being played here. And again, this is another one of these. I don't know. It's just perfection. It's perfection. That's what it is. It's pure perfection right here. Hang on. Yeah, no worries. No worries about that. Yeah. Excuse me, my throat is getting dry. Again, needs some more fluids, damn it. And again, I do like how there's musical references to pretty much all three of these films. We have the musical pocket watch returning here, the guitar, and we also have the trumpet is of course a reference to the final duel music or the final showdown music in Fistful Daros. It's a kind of a combination and a culmination of all three soundtracks at this point in this track. So it's fantastic. Yeah, because they did have a version of this already. Yeah, true. I needed that. I've seen it. I do have to shoot this. I'm a big fan of the shooters. Actually, it's one of my favorite John Wayne films. But yeah, that's very true. I don't shoot people in their back. Yeah. Yeah. John Wayne didn't want to shoot the guy in the back, and then Clint Eastwood would have shot him in the back. I don't care what that kid would have done. He just does it. Yeah. Kubrick, Tarkovsky, Leone, De Palma, Kurosawa. Excellent choices. Yeah, I mean, again, it pains me to leave people out like Kubrick, but, you know, I could only pick 5, so yeah. Yeah. I mean, probably not controversial at all. I mean, it's the only one that I like. And again, Lee Van Cleef missing the fingertip there in the close-up when he goes for the gun. And again, this is perfectly timed to the music with the close-ups here. There he's going, yeah. And it swells up, it builds tension, Close-ups keep getting tighter and tighter. Full close-up of the eyes on Clint, Eli, and then boom, 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 intercut. Tension, bam, release. Just one shot, all that build-up just for Clint to shoot once. Perfection. Well, he's going to shoot a few more times, but that first shot was, of course, the punchline to the entire setup. Long build-up. I'm going to answer this one first here. Apparently, he lost his finger by building a dollhouse for one of his kids or a kid. So, tough guy Lee Van Cleef lost his finger, I think, with a Stanley knife, building a dollhouse for a kid. So that's how he lost his fingertip. By accident, of course. Well, not necessarily during a Western, but just when I watch films, you know, sometimes I like to have some chips or crisps, whatever side of the punch you're on. Because I know the UK has fish and chips, which is different from the potato chips that I know and the Americans know. But which I think people in the UK call crisps. So yeah. But that's usually only in the weekends for me, because during the week I'm usually going to the gym and exercising and kind of watching what I eat and stuff. So, but when I'm relaxing in the weekend watching a film, I usually have some chips or again crisps with it. So yeah, that's pretty much my go-to snack when I watch films. Which westerns have you seen in the cinema? I saw The Hateful Eight, Django Unchained on a re-release last year. I wasn't old enough to see it in 2012, sadly. So I saw that on a re-release last year or the year before. One of the two. Other than that, I wish I could catch a re-release of this, obviously, or any of the other Van Cleef. Van Cleef. Because I'm seeing Van Cleef there by Sean. No, any of the early Leone films. But yeah, I think it's only the Tarantino films that I've actually seen properly on the big screen so far. So yeah, it's only the Tarantino ones. We missed a great line of dialogue where Clint, of course, throws back Tuco's, kind of go-to line, where Clint says, "There's two kinds of people, my friend. Those who load guns and those who dig. You dig." Of course, it's the grave marked unknown right besides Arch Den. And again, another great visual moment here. It's all us, Blondie. And then he gets up. Yeah. Wow, wow, wow. And there's a noose hanging from the tree. Again, perfectly timed to the music once again. Or, perfectly punctuated by music, I should say. It's no joke, it's a rope, Tuco. Won't you stand there, put your hand in that noose? Yeah, Dollhouse of all things, yeah. I mean, Rod Steiger in Ducky Soccer is pretty much Tony Montana before Tony Montana, especially with the accent that he does in that film. Would Tony Montana, I mean, he would probably be a good fit for like the roles like that Thomas Millian played and like the Cuchillos and stuff. Like that would be maybe a Tony Montana kind of role of the West. Poor Tuco. He's so close to all that beautiful money, as he would say. But he's also still so far now that he is being tied here by Eastwood and having the rope around his neck once again. That's a good one. Yeah, the Wild Bunch. He would be on the Gatling gun. Say hello to my little friend. So close. Or so near, but yet so far for Tuco right here. Hey, that's awesome. Dances with Wolves. I would love to see that in the cinema. That would be a big, epic one to watch on the big screen as well. I love Dances with Wolves. Seems just like old times. 4 for you, and 4 for me. Now that you call me by name, I think Sean really wants a Once Upon a Time in the West watch party. I mean, it could happen. It could happen. He's so close to the money. Yeah, I love it. And of course, this horse is Angel Eyes' horse, Van Cleef's horse. That Blondie's gonna ride off on. Remember seeing Frank kill that kid on Once Upon a Time in the West. Still shocked. Imagine how much it shocked the audiences back in the day, who only were used to Henry Fonda being the good guy. I mean, imagine it's like Tom Cruise being the bad guy nowadays. It's like Tom Cruise shooting a kid. Not Tom Cruise. Tom Hanks. I got my Toms confused. It's like Tom Cruise. Fuck me. It's like Tom Hanks being a bad guy. It's like Tom Hanks shooting a kid in a film. It's kind of what that was back then when Henry Fonda turned out to be such a vicious bad guy. I guess Tom Hanks would be the equivalent of that nowadays. Blondie! Son of a bitch. He never quite gets to finish his son of a, you know. That of course gives us the great final stinger in the film. But so small, you only want people. Yeah, yeah. When the camera's behind him in his big scene, when he comes up and the camera turns, at this point the audience will be like, Jesus Christ, it's Henry Fonda. Yeah, that's the intended effect or reaction that Leone was going for sure. Ah, poor Tuco. Son of a bitch. It's pretty much all dark now. I don't know why there's still so much glare on the TV, but again, it's probably a good thing for so that I won't get picked up for the good old copyright. But oh great, the cat is meowing again. Yes, Clint is nowadays the only surviving member of this entire cast. Unless you count the kid from the beginning of the film, he's probably still alive. Yeah, here we go. Clint is going to shoot the rope one more time for good old Tuco. And then we have once more the title cards. The ugly. The bad. And the good. Hang on, it's the good, the bad, and the ugly. Why is it reversed? No, never mind. And then we have the great, you know, Eli Wallach taking us out on this one, which I will play that bit as the outro on the stream. Hey, Blondie. You know what you are. Just a dirty son of a bitch. Yeah. Wah, wah, wah. And that's the end of the good, the bad, and that's the end of a epic 3-part watch party that started this afternoon, and it's now almost 10 p.m. Obviously at evening for me. It would now be in the morning for Matthew Binney, who joined us in the afternoon, and it was in the evening for him. So yeah, all these time zones, it's dirty son of a yeah. Yeah, Clint, yeah. Oh, he actually says bitch in the subtitles, but yeah, but he doesn't actually get to verbally say it. Yeah, it's because he's always interrupted or undercut, cut off by something. And here's Clint riding away from the Italian westerns and into Hang 'em High, which will be his first American western after this. Of course, Clint went on to do many other great westerns like Two Mules for Sister Sarah, Joe Kidd, High Plains Drifter, Outlaw Josie Wales, Pale Rider, which we did last week somewhere, I guess, yeah. And of course, ending his western career with Unforgiven. And we've made it. It doesn't come up on the screen, but it says the end right now when the screen goes dark. And this was the even more extended English language version. Yeah. It's time for a smoke on my end anyway. And now we're going to wrap this stream up. Fucking Finn to one of the most perfect made films ever made. Again, the only one that I'm going to counter argue against is Once Upon a Time in the West. And even then it's like, which one? I love them both, you know? Yeah. One of the greatest films ever made, that's for sure. Anyway, I'm going to go for smoke, then we're going to wrap up. Because a lot of you have been here since the very beginning. So absolute legends is what you guys are. There we go. Remove the TV fully. Let's there we go. Lower the volume a bit. We can turn the light on. There we go. Made it. Made it. Now I'm gonna have to make t-shirts. I survived the Daros trilogy watch party with Jeff, and all I got is this lousy t-shirt for you guys to get. Nah, you guys are troopers, man, for reals. I mean, Mike Barrett's pretty much been here since the beginning, if I'm not mistaken. Dave definitely was. Andy. And then pretty much all of y'all. I mean, Stacy, I think Stacy was here since Fistful of Dara, so yeah. Yeah, we started this at midday. It's near 10. Yeah, it's almost 10 where I'm at, so it's almost time for Gareth and Alucard to start a stream, so I guess we're gonna jump over there as soon as this is done. Made it. The end. Fucking Finn, as it says right there. Yeah, by Sean. Finn. Yes, Words and Pictures has been pretty much here since the beginning as well, yeah. I'll find that mission CD one day. It's a great time indeed. Yes, this was a lot of fun, and it wouldn't have been half as much fun. Well, there are great films, but without you being here, because they do arrest people for talking to a empty screen, you know. Yeah, Sean missed Fistful, but he has been. Yeah, Sean was here since Few Dollars More. I think you did pop up at the end of Fistful, didn't you? I mean, it's been so long, I don't really remember, but I think you did pop up at the end of Fistful. But yeah, thank you, Sean. I'm gonna ride off into the sunset myself, which there actually is one right next to the Dublin Mountains. Awesome. Yeah, it's fully sundown already. It's already dark here, so I missed that chance. But yeah, I'm gonna be bidding you guys farewell, because it has been a long day for a lot of us, and especially myself, who's been hosting this stuff. So yeah, I guess again, thanks to everyone that has been here. I mean, I don't think I can go through literally everyone that has been here. I mean, Gareth has been here, popping in and out. Mike's DVD and Blu-ray. I mean, so many people have been here, and also for people that are watching these on playback, thank you so much for watching. I actually might watch DocuSoccer again. I want to watch some more Leone. I might actually watch that, because I am off work for now the upcoming few days. I'm back to work at Wednesday, so I will definitely get some films in. Epic stream. Yeah, thank you, Mike. And yeah, cheers, Dave. I'm going to play the outro in just a second. And again, just thank you all so much for watching all three of these. Well, most of you again. And anyone that's popped in by the time we did the second one, or even people that popped in during the third one, just thanks to everyone who has been here throughout the entire day, pretty much. So yeah, I'm gonna play the outro. Do we have an outro? We do have an outro, yes. And I got two outros. So we're gonna have Eli taking us out, and also Clint. So I'm gonna play the Eli outro, and then the Clint outro will take us out for well, for good on this one. And yes, I will probably see most of you tomorrow in the evening for Gareth's You Only Live Twice watch party. So yes, I'll definitely be there. And again, many thanks to everyone: Andy, Sean, Dave, Mike, Words and Pictures, Mac Chats, everyone, Stacy. And yeah, we're gonna play the Eli outro and then the Clint outro, and we're gonna be saying for the last time today, adios. Clint will say that as well, but anyway, thanks for watching, and so long for now. Westerns for life. Oh,
hey, blood! You know what you are! Just a dirty son of a bitch!
Adios.